Hello, everybody, and welcome to the ECL Pro Finals. I am Tegan, it's Kingline Blair. He is Brandon B. Major Bigsby, and it is ECL Neo Finals here, Brandon. Old Hogs against JEUSSEN.
Yeah, Tegan, and this is going to be a lot of fun. Two teams looking to win the championship here in the Neo division, and two sides that have been hot all playoffs have won every single series by a sweep, but one of them are going to have to fall here tonight. Can't wait to sit here and watch this and call it with you.
I am super excited as we get this underway, and let's have a look at how this started. As both of these teams, Brandon and Old Hogs and JEUSSEN, in the same group here. As we'll dive into that now.
Yeah, you can see the Old Hogs, they were amazing during their group in that number one spot, had a 13-2-1 season. But as you can see, at that third spot, HC JEUSSEN, they weren't that far behind, only a couple of points separating them between that number one spot and that third spot that they saw themselves sit in. So they might have been a little bit separated in terms of the overall seedings, Old Hogs being at 4, HC JEUSSEN being at 9th. But in terms of the group standings, these guys were pretty neck and neck. Should be interesting. This kind of shows you how even that they truly are, despite the seeding, what it ended up being.
Yeah, and as you said, Brandon, both of these teams had a pretty good run here in the playoffs, as we'll pop over to the bracket and have a look at that as well.
Yeah, and you can see how exactly they got there. We kind of mentioned it earlier, but neither team has lost a game yet in these playoffs, and they're on winning streaks that last about a month and a half. HC JEUSSEN hasn't lost a game since January 26th, while on the other side, Old Hogs, they haven't lost a game since January 23rd. So these guys have not had the feeling of defeat in quite a long time. It's going to change for one or probably even both of them here tonight, but you really have to respect the playoff runs that they have had. They've been so good. It just feels like any challenge that has been thrown their way, especially HC JEUSSEN taking out both the number 2 and number 1 seeds, really does speak to what they have done and how much they've accomplished in this playoff run.
Both teams in the quarterfinals and in the semifinals, Brandon, coming off sweeps. The bragging rights going into this finals is absolutely massive as we have a look at the latest results here and see how those sweeps happened.
Yeah, and you kind of see that for HC JEUSSEN, they won pretty convincingly in both of their series. Only 2 one-goal games. The rest were decided by 4 goals or more on their sides. And then realistically, for Old Hogs, pretty close, but at the same time, not necessarily overly close either in their last series. So not only are these teams finding ways to win games, but they've been able to do it rather convincingly. You see a few shutouts, you're seeing a few high-scoring games in the 6, 7, and 8 marks. Should be really interesting because I don't think it's going to be as wide of a margin in these games here, what we might have seen in both the quarters and semifinals.
I couldn't agree with you more, Brandon. It's both of these teams coming off back-to-back sweeps. Expects to be some high-flying hockey here in the finals as we take a look at how these teams face off against each other.
Yeah, and it's very interesting because we were kind of looking at the group standings where these two were in Group 3, and you saw Old Dogs, they had 125 goals for HC JEUSSEN, only around that 75 mark, but this time HC JEUSSEN, they are scoring like nobody's business, 62 goals for, while Old Hogs on the other end, only 8 goals total allowed, and not only that, but a perfect penalty kill to boot, so this is going to be interesting, a really high-octane offense versus a really stout defense. It's always fun to see which team is able to prevail in that battle. Going to be fun to see how that develops in this game and in this series.
Undefeated records on either side here, Brandon. Let's see who's playing for these respective teams. As on the left-hand side, we have JEUSSEN with Victor the Man at center, Sholand on left wing, Batty on right wing, lefty is Max Mias, and on right D Rambos, and in goal Iruxes. And Brandon, over for the Old Hogs.
For Old Hogs, Nori Mestari at that left wing spot with Yuso and Mise on the forward group, and then defense, Saku, Budheiser, and in net, Karhu Perhe. This is a lineup that has been so good all season long. It's going to be interesting to see how these guys match up against an HC JEUSSEN team that's been so hot, has been able to score a lot of goals throughout this playoff run.
Safety first there from Budheiser as we pop in and look at our head-to-head against our center matchups as we have Yuzo and Victor.
Yeah, and it's funny because you kind of see the points of deferring a little bit, but man, Victor the man, he's been the man for this HC Jessen team. 32 assists. He's really operated as the playmaker for this team. And keep in mind, HC Jessen, they've played more games. As Old Hogs, being a top 4 seed, got a bye through round 1. So on the other end, Yuso, he's been pretty solid as well, but just those numbers next to him kind of overshadowing some of the great work that he has done. But something to keep in mind, that face-off percentage, nearly 60%, could be something to look out for in the series.
I couldn't agree more, Brandon. I look forward to this face-off battle as both players with over 50% as we pop in and take a look at our winger matchup, which I'm very excited to see now.
Oh yeah, we have a lot of goal scorers, and there's two players that really stand out to me. 20 goals on one end, 25 goals on the other. The two left wings in Sholand and Northern Bastardi. It's going to be very interesting to see how those two show up. We talk about it all the time, Tegan, how big goal scorers just find a way to find that big time play and score at that big moment. Both of these guys have that ability. It should be fun to watch when their team needs a goal, if they're the ones to step up and come up big for their team.
And if their team doesn't need a goal and it's shutdown time, it is going to be the defense that we're going to take a look at as Saku and Budweiser against Max Mias and Rambos.
And this is where a lot of these series can often be won and lost to defense. How can you keep a really good offense at bay for both of these sides? I think that's going to be more important for Roadhog's defense in Saku and Budweiser because of how good and how hot of a team in terms of scoring HC Jessen have been. And someone that really is standing out to me is Max Mies, 26 points, 7 goals, and 19 assists. He has been a really good quarterback on the breakout for his HC Jessen team. And he's contributed on the goal scoring end as well. So he's going to be a guy to look out for, maybe go up in the play a little bit, generate some offense for his team, and maybe even score a goal or two in the process in this series.
Yeah, not if any of these players have to say anything about it, as both goaltenders going head to head, as we have Carlu Pere and Iruxes.
And both have put up wild numbers. You can see on one end, Carhu Perry, an 89.2 save percentage and under a goals against average. Over half of his games have been shutouts. And Tegan, that is just pure dominance from a goaltender if you've ever seen it. Those are the type of numbers you really do not see often, especially in sixes against really good teams in the playoff run. And on the other end, Ruxies, great numbers for himself as well, an 83.3 save percentage. He's right at that plus 80% mark we often like to see. And 2 shutouts as well to boot. And I think the thing that these goalies care about more, neither have taken a loss yet, and both have been winning in dominant fashion. So one of those are going to end tonight, probably both. We'll see how this series plays out, and well, it's a best of 5. But these two goalies, they've been spectacular all playoff long. They'll hope to continue to lead their team to a championship tonight.
You know, Brandon, one trend here at Sports Gamer GG is that these goaltenders are just so amazing. You look at one side and you see Iruxes with an 83.3 save percentage and a 1.8 goals against average with 2 shutouts, 10 wins, 0 losses, and you think it just can't get any better than this, can it? And then you look over at Carhu Pere, which has 89 save percentage, so close to 90, with an 8.89 goals against average, 5 shutouts, 9 wins, not a loss. You know, this whole series, this best of 5, could be a full goaltending battle.
It really could, and that's so interesting to me just because both of these two teams, they've won a lot of their games in that blowout fashion. You saw in some of the games HC Jessen played, they were scoring as much as 7 or 8 goals, and Roadhogs, they were scoring 6 goals or more in a few of their games as well. We mentioned as well, neither of these two teams have lost since the late mid-January, January 26th for HC Jessen, January 23rd for Roadhogs. Neither of these two teams have really seen a fall in a long time, and that's going to change here tonight for at least one team, more than likely both, if we expect this series to be as close as the way it looks. So this is going to be very interesting. 2 dominant teams the last month and a half facing off against one another. You couldn't ask for a better matchup here in the ECL Neo division.
You definitely couldn't, Brandon, as bragging rights are on the table here in the ECL Neo. Both teams are not going to want to come out with an L, Brandon. Neither team has lost, so one team is guaranteed an L on their record after this one.
Yeah, and we can very well see both. Like we said, it's a best of five, and personally, I think this could very well at least go four and maybe go the distance with five with how close these two teams are. But now, Tegan, we're nearing the playoffs, seeing its end, and we're turning the page here, aren't we? The spring is coming.
That's right. We are turning the page. So grab your pens and sign up now for the ECL on Sports Gamer GG. Want to give a big thank you and a shout out to our sponsors at Wilhelm, Kovan Lakritzi, and ST Hockey. And of course, here at Sports Gamer GG, we're going to get this fired up right away. In game number one, Brandon, of this best of five series, I'll grab it from you very quickly. A player on either side, as we normally do.
Man, it's going to be tough, but I think I'm going to look at Nurmastari, the center for Old Hogs, versus the left winger in HC JEUSSEN and Victor DeMann. Both of these guys so good, and they're able to contribute in that way where they're able to make plays and contribute so much on the offensive end. In a game where it's two teams with hot goalies and great defense, it's going to be so important for them to show up. Those are the guys I think they're going to look to make a big play.
And here we go in the ECL Neo Finals. You see your respective lineups in the bottom left and right hand corner of your screen. As Old Hogs in the dark colored jerseys, HC JEUSSEN in the light. This puck down the left hand side. Old Hogs bring the puck in. That one's shot on. Saku just sends that around the boards over to the right hand side. Yuzo resets that back to Budheiser, and he dumps that from his own side of center, and that's going to be our first icing.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see who scores that first goal to kind of draw first blood, as they say. It's one of these games and one of these series where things are so even, and there's really not a true advantage for either side coming into this game, so getting that early momentum could be huge.
That puck's moved up the left-hand side. We get a little taste of our finished score and time clock in language, Brandon, as I know I've been studying my Finnish. I don't know about you, but puck is going to be carried out here by HC JEUSSEN into the right-hand corner. Goes Old Hogs as they send that one up the middle to Yuzo. Yuzo spins, looks to go back door, and Brandon, that might have been a good trip.
Yeah, that was a clear opportunity there for Roadhogs. There is a time to take a penalty. That's probably the time to do so. Obviously, no team ever wanting to just get in the box, but if you have to do so to cut off that clear opportunity, you want to take that penalty just so you can take away that high-scoring goal chance opportunity from the opposition. Just got to trust your penalty kill and hope you can get this thing off.
One shot is on, it's loose in front, and it's going to be swallowed up there by Ruxies.
And that's the first time we've really heard from Ruxies with it being early in this game, but they're going to hope for him that he can step up big here for HC JEUSSEN as they're trying to kill off this penalty off of Roadhogs, a team that has really been good on the power play all season.
Saku goes over to the left-hand side. Nori Mastari has it poked off his stick. And puck's going to be carried out here by JEUSSEN, turned over. As Budheiser, he's got the bucket on, and he knows what he's doing out there. That one's going to be sent around by him into the offensive zone. Left-hand side, Nori Mastari gets that into the right-hand corner. He's tripped up, and now we'll see a 5-on-3 here, Brandon, for 42 seconds.
This is big here for this team in Old Hogs to take advantage of this. They get this 5-on-3. It's a chance to take the momentum. You have a lot of open ice now with not only them being shorthanded, but also having another man off the ice for a good chunk of time. We'll see how Old Hogs can do, but I think this is a big opportunity for them to really get their step in the right direction going into the series.
Face-off is one back. Saku over to the right-hand side. Budheiser with a big shot. Old Hogs really want to score here. The puck's pulled in behind the net. Good job by Old Hogs. Misse tried to get that one out to the middle and over to the left-hand side for a one-timer, but a great job by JEUSSEN HC to get that down the ice, and that does it for at least one power play. Saku, right-hand boards to Misse. Good puck pick up there by JEUSSEN as they turn around and go up the boards. Poke checked off, and that one, oh no, it was kept onside, Brandon, as they go over to the left-hand side to the Old Hogs. Saku over to Budheiser. Shot on is going to be blocked. Budheiser fires, and a big save there by Ruxies.
And Ruxies, he's looked solid here coming in through the first few shots. They've had some trouble getting into the box, HC JEUSSEN has, but Ruxies, whenever he's had that shot on net, he's been all over it. He's been sharpest so far, and it looks like they might just be a minute or two away from killing off that last penalty.
Missy gets that back to Saku. Budheiser fires back door as after a good save from Ruxies. Nori Mastadi was absolutely stuffed with a pad save. And that's where this goaltending comes into play, Brandon. We spoke about it beforehand. Puck is going to be carried out here by HC Jessen. Or Jessen, sorry. Puck in the neutral zone is going to be carried in now. Good job by Yuzo to take it right back. Saku fires that one in. Left-hand side. Good dump and chase here. But it's going to be Jessen who comes up with it. All the way back into Jessen's zone here, Brandon. What do you think so far? That one's poked away and held on by Ruxies, as that was probably our closest to the game.
And it was off of just a poke check, HC Jessen trying to get out of their own end, and then all of a sudden I couldn't tell who it was there for Old Hogs, but the quick poke, Ruxies had to be sharp, and he has been all day, but man, that was a scary one, I'm sure, for him there. A big sigh of relief for the HC Jessen goaltender on that one.
Puck is going to be brought in here by Jessen. They fire that one on. It's going to be blocked and picked up here by Budheiser up the left-hand boards. Nori Mastadi into the middle to Yuzo. Good poke check as that puck is going to be fought for at the right-hand wall. Good passing here by Jessen as that one's over to Sholin. He fires! And that's a great save by Karu Pere, as he hasn't really faced many shots so far.
Yeah, first time we're really calling his name here tonight, and we've been talking a lot about the opposing goaltender in Ruxies, but man, Karu Pere, he's the guy that can stop. Big as another save there from them.
Right inside is going to be carried out here by Missy. Big spin there as that puck's picked up at the line. Great trap. That's a good fight in the offensive zone here finally by Jessen, but they turn it over and that puck's picked up at the line. Good passing here as Jessen finally gets into the offensive zone with about 2 minutes left in the first period, but it's Missy up the right-hand side for Old Hogs. Tries to throw that one across. It's picked up by Rambos as we see that puck go flying down the ice, Brandon. We've seen that a few times.
Yeah, we've had to see that a couple of times, and it's a play to where you kind of hope it doesn't affect anything, but it's just one of those things. There's not really a lot you could do about it, but now a chance for Old Hogs to get back in the zone after HC Jessen. Seemed like they were starting to push back a little bit there.
Puck carried out by Jessen over to the right-hand side. Sholin gets that one ahead. Victor finally picks that one up in the neutral zone, but he turns it over. And with 6 seconds to go, we get close to the end of period number 1.
And you know, Tegan, obviously 6.3 seconds left, still an opportunity for one of these teams to maybe get a score, but you would almost figure a goal would have gone in by now. There's been some really good opportunities for both of these sides, especially with Old Hogs having the power play and the 5-on-3 right after. It just feels like the goaltending has really been the star of the show so far, with Karu Perde for Old Hogs and Ruxies for HC Jessen. Both of these guys have been absolutely spectacular through the first period and just as good as advertised.
That is a good pickup save there. Both these goaltenders, we're seeing them play very good here, Brandon.
Yeah, and we talked about a lot coming into the pregame in our open, how good these two goalies have been all season long, and you're just kind of seeing a glimpse of that here in period 1. We saw the first 10 minutes, it was really mostly Ruxies that had to step up big and make a lot of big saves for this HC Jessen team. It felt like they kind of were on their heels a little bit. They had that penalty, and then it led into a 5-on-3 penalty kill, but some saves by Ruxies, a few good clear-outs from the defense, and they were able to get that off, and then they got to work on the offensive end, and we saw Karu Perde get going a little bit, make 2 or 3 big saves there in about a 3 to 4 minute sequence. So the goaltending seems to be the star of the show so far. We'll see if that continues or if the scoring touch for either of these two teams starts to open up a little bit and show itself.
Sorry about that. Is good start to our period here. We get an early whistle with about a minute in. Puck picked up, thrown out front, is going to be behind the net. Yuzo carries it out. Saku looking for a stretch pass, but that one is picked up by Old Hogs. Back in their own zone, they give that up to JEUSSEN. Fought for behind the net. We'll see a power play here.
Yeah, this is the first time we've really seen HC JEUSSEN get on the power play, and keep in mind, Old Hogs, a penalty kill that has been perfect throughout the postseason, so we'll get to see that 100% penalty kill percentage tested right here against a really strong HC JEUSSEN offense.
Face off here in the offensive zone for HC JEUSSEN as they go for their power play. As that one's one back, it's going to be out of the zone. Picked up there in the neutral zone by JEUSSEN. Good interception by Nori Mistari, and he throws it all the way down the ice. And puck's brought out by Rambos into the middle to Victor. Over to Sholand. Victor picks it back up on the right-hand side. He's stripped by Yuzo, but Victor picks it back up. He goes back door, as that one slides through Karhupehe. And a shot on is going to be blocked. Batty back to the point. One's going to be ran back down low. Victor back to the point. Shot is on. It's blocked by their own player. Loose in front. And there it is. It's picked up and gone on the right-hand side. Miss A for Old Hogs. Holds it on the backhand. Still with it, as he's behind the goal line. Curling on the right-hand side. D to D as they get their man out of the box. But we're going to see a chance here down the left-hand boards. Patty into the middle of the Sholand, and they score!
And that is exactly what HC JEUSSEN needed. We raised the question, Tegan, when would these two scoring sides be able to open things up? Well, it's HC JEUSSEN and Sholand that do so right there. A great play there, just kind of a quick go and then a stop, putting on the brakes, making that pass to the other side, and beating the goalie in Karhupehe. And HC JEUSSEN get the scoring started here in Game 1 in this best-of-5 series.
Face-off is going to be won. Back to Saku, over to Budheiser. Budheiser goes up the ice, that's all the way down, and that is going to be icing.
And now it feels like HC JEUSSEN kind of has the momentum going for themselves here. They get that goal, they get the icing, and now a chance on an offensive zone faceoff to maybe get this goal again and double their lead. That would really bode well for them with the way their goaltender is played on the other end. We'll see if they can do it here.
Face-off is one back, shot on, big block there by Budheiser, another shot on, and that's a great save by Karhupehe.
And Karhupehe, we talked about him, that 89 save percentage. Well, we're seeing why that save percentage is so high. He might not get that sixth shutout, but he has been spectacular so far in this game. Another big save from him right there.
Puck is going to be dumped all the way down the ice. That's too far, though, Brandon, as that will be icing.
Yeah, and like we said, it just kind of feels like HC JEUSSEN kind of the aggressors now and the attackers so far in this game. Old Hogs, they started out well, felt like they were kind of controlling the game through the first 10 minutes, but ever since that point, just not a lot going for them. We'll see what they do to adjust and kind of fix that to start getting a little bit more going for them offensively as they kind of start to see pushback.
Not even starting, comes down and oh, he bad the goaltender. Ruxy's beat Brandon, but he didn't beat the net as he put that backhand off the side of the net. Good job by Batty to beat out the icing call. Yuzo fighting for it in the right-hand corner. Sends that one up the right-hand side, and he gets it right back. Yuzo up to Misse. Misse tried to get that puck through, but it was intercepted by Victor. Picked back up by Misse. Misse comes and he fires, and that one goes just wide. Puck is going to be carried out now. Sholand gets it up through, and now it's a step offside.
Man, that was so close there for Old Hogs. You just kind of felt like they were going to be able to tie the game up. He beat the goalie in Ruxy's, but just was not able to hit the net. If Old Hogs are not able to tie this game and come back, that's going to be one they remember on not fondly, to say the least.
As 9:10 to go in the second period, JEUSSEN with a 1-0 lead here in the ECL Neo Finals on Sports Gamer GG. As we're halfway through game 1, this is a best of 5, everybody. Make sure you hang around and enjoy all this. I am Tegan, it's King Lime Blair. He is Brandon B. Major Bigsby, and we'll pop over to him now.
As you can see, things kind of slowing down to an ascent, but not necessarily, just continuing what we saw in the first period where things were just kind of slow, the goaltending continuing to play well, and underratedly, the defense making some big plays as well. You can't have great goaltending without the defense making some plays in front of their respective goalies. It's been exactly that so far, but Old Hogs going to try to find a way to break this thing through. They had a chance on the breakaway, weren't able to convert. Going to have to try and create another chance for themselves here to actually capitalize on it the next time around.
Yuzo tried to move that one ahead, but good defense here. As that one's picked off behind the net. Great play by that Old Hogs player behind the net. Picked up now by Yuzo. Saka fires. Yuzo picks it up in front. He looked back door as he had a shot available. Decided not to take it. Batty around to Max Mias. Ahead to Sholand, who gives that away. And here go Old Hogs looking to capitalize. Misse trying to walk that one into the slot. It ends up in the right-hand corner. Sholand comes back to help out here. And that puck's picked up by Yuzo. Misse tried to go back to the point. Nobody was there, Brandon. So Misse is going to try and do it himself. He takes a massive hit to make a play. And that puck's put down by Yuzo. Huge hits here by HC JEUSSEN, Brandon.
Yeah, HC JEUSSEN laying down the body is not something we really talked about too much with them, but it's interesting when these teams can kind of do that to really apply that pressure. It makes you, as a puck carrier, think just a little bit because you're afraid you might get that one hit to bump the puck off. Never want to turn it over. So just something extra to put in the offensive player's head there where you have that ability to do that.
Good block there, and the rebound popped right out front, and HC JEUSSEN with probably their second best chance of the game, not able to get one past Kahupe. They go down and jump that one in, but it's picked up by Max Mias, who goes up the left-hand side there to Batty. Batty tried to dump that one in, and it takes us to the end of the second period.
And HC JEUSSEN, the winners of that period, because they got the goal to break this thing open. As you can see the replay of it on your screen, that kind of stop and go, passes it across the net over to his winger in Mr. Sholand to take the lead here for HC JEUSSEN. And it's interesting, Tegan, because we kind of talked about throughout the Open how good these two goaltenders were, the way they have been playing all playoffs long, and you kind of just get the feeling that things have continued in that direction, despite the shots, despite the opportunities for both of these sides. Both of these goalies, and Kahupe and Ruxys, have been absolutely amazing.
And we expected that, didn't we, Brandon? As both of these players, or goaltenders respectively, in both ends have been absolutely phenomenal and continue to do so in this game.
Yeah, and you can get another look there at the goal, and what a shot that was there by Sholand. It was not necessarily a clean forehand shot, kind of a middle of picking it up, shooting it anyway to be put it top left, top right corner for the goaltender in Kahupe and put it through. So now we'll see if Old Hogs can respond. It's been tough to beat Ruxys. They had that one chance on the breakaway. Now it's probably their best opportunity, but they're going to have to find another one, as right now it feels like HC JEUSSEN just in a really good position to close this out with the way Ruxys is playing, the way they've been able to generate on offense.
As we start period number 3 here at the ECL Neo Finals. As HC JEUSSEN against Old Hogs. This puck's brought in here. It's a 1-0 game for HC JEUSSEN. As Rambos goes over to his partner, and it's brought up to Victor the Man. Victor the Man, nice play up to Sholand with a nice move through the middle, but it's turned. No, I thought it was going to be turned over, but there it finally does to Yuzo. Who goes down to Saku. Saku turns that one over, but he gets it right back, and a pass ahead. Gets poked off of the stick, and Old Hogs go to work. They try and bring it out on the backhand, but that one's stuffed in the crease, not able to get a shot on goal. In the neutral zone, puck is going to be played all the way back down into JEUSSEN territory, and Victor works it out to Max Mias. Tried to go up the right-hand side, but that one is going to be offside.
And now things starting to not necessarily become dire, but the need to score becoming a lot more important now for Old Hogs. 14:05 to go, and time starting to dwindle. The more this time goes on, the more favorable this becomes for HC JEUSSEN, and the more that clock becomes their friend. So Old Hogs, don't be surprised if they start to get a little bit more aggressive here as this game goes on to try to tie this up.
Puck's wrong around the outside. There's a good job by Old Hogs to play good defense. Big hit at the line there. Misse gets bumped off the puck. Puck down low is a pass across. Looking for Batty. Is that one from the point? Almost slides through, but a great save by Ruxies.
And you know, Tegan Ruxies, he's been great, but he's had a couple of close calls. That was another one right there. We mentioned the breakaway a few times. That one was close. That second one right there nearly trickled through his 5-hole, but his goalie able to squeeze that tight, not let it go through, and keep this at a 1-0 game.
Big shot on there. Is that one pump flies over the goaltender, and Ruxies with a great save.
You know, the amazing wonders about this game, you just never know where that puck is going to go sometimes, and that was one of those situations. A great block there from the defender, and I believe that was Budheiser to make that play, and then all of a sudden, it just felt like the puck was flying through the other end and had a chance. There's a chance for HC Justin on the counter.
Noti Mistari wraps that one up the right-hand side. Max Mias picks that one up. Yuzo for Old Hogs at the right-hand side to Missy. Missy takes that one into the corner on the backhand, continues to fight behind the net, brings it out front. Yuzo with a shot on, and that's a great block by Sholand as he's back helping out the defense as a winger. Here's Rambos through the middle to Victor. Puck picked off. Yuzo fires. Great blocker save by Ruxies Brandon. We knew he was going to be good, but did we know he was going to be this good? Victor over to the right-hand side. That one's going to be picked off, and finally things slow down here.
It looks like there's going to be a delayed penalty for HC JEUSSEN too, so that forward momentum that Old Hogs seem to start to get for themselves is going to continue right here. But what saves there by Ruxies? We kind of saw him lift that close call after the block from Rambos and the puck flew to the other end. Well, the chaos did not end there for him. A few big saves from Ruxies, a lot of hecticness going on in front of him, but every time just calm and composed in the heat of the moment, being able to make those saves. He's going to have to step up big here on this penalty kill for his team.
Yes, and trying to dump that puck out, and Ruxies, just phenomenal stuff out of him. As Victor with a great poke check sends it up the left-hand side to Batty. Batty dropped that one back. That could have been dangerous, Brandon, almost sending Old Hogs on a breakaway, but Max Mias dumps that one all the way down. 1 minute left here in the power play. Period number 3, game number 1 here in the ECL Neo Finals. Old Hogs against HC JEUSSEN. Puck down the right-hand boards. That pass across was stuffed by Rambos. And all the way down into Old Hogs territory is Saku. Goes to Budheiser. That one's going to be poked off his stick. And Yuzo brings that one in offside with 5 minutes to go here, Brandon, in the third period.
And you know, I don't think we've talked about enough the penalty kill of HC JEUSSEN, how big that has been for them in this game. We saw 3 power plays so far in this game, and it looks like Old Hogs has just not been able to capitalize on any of them between the goaltending of Ruxies and then the defensive efforts of this HC JEUSSEN team when shorthanded. It's been amazing, and it's a big reason that they're holding this game.
One the other way is Batty, holds it on the forehand, looks across, and that one, as I thought was going to be a clean one-timer, was picked off. Victor the man with a good poke check. He wraps that one around the net to Max Mias. Good interception by Yuzo, but I think he might have thrown that from his own side of center, but no icing on the play regardless. Sholand carries it up the side. Tried to force that one through the middle. It goes off a body, and Old Hogs only 2 minutes left to get 1 goal, Brandon, and they need it badly. Puck over on the left-hand side. Noti Bastardi has it poked off his stick. Batty. But Noti Bastardi, he had a lane to the net there, Brandon. And Old Hogs take a penalty.
Yeah, very unfortunate there for Old Hogs. Right when we kind of talked about them getting that momentum, they weren't able to capitalize on the power play, and now HC JEUSSEN, as we'll see a timeout here, they get a chance to not just maybe double their lead and maybe put the icing on the cake here, but that drains off really, really big time now for Old Hogs to try to tie this game up. They have the lead. There's only a few minutes to go, and HC JEUSSEN, if they choose to, obviously you want to get that goal. You don't feel safe with a 1-goal lead here in this instance, but you have to try to get this going here and just keep that possession as that time but continues to drain. So Old Hogs, they might be on the PK here, but they're going to be a little bit more aggressive on this penalty kill with not a lot of time remaining. They're going to be on the rest of this game on the penalty kill, so have to be aggressive. Not much choice for them here.
Shot on. That one goes wide and high. Here's Rambos. Rambos puts that over to Sholand. That one's going to be bumped off in behind the net here. Sholand fires, and a good save there by Karu Pere.
Yeah, and Old Hawks really gonna need Carhu Pere to be perfect from this point forward with the situation they're in, being down by one, being on the penalty kill. I think HC Jessen, they're content with just playing that possession. Just don't allow a turnover. Don't let Old Hawks get in transition. You might have a win here in game one.
Yuzo sends that one all the way down. They're going to have to beat it around the right-hand side, and they do, but a good chop there by HC Jessen. Saku tried to force the issue there, but Victor the man came out with it. Sholin trying to get around the defender and does. Over to the left-hand side, through the middle, and still loose, but a great save there, as I think he might have got a couple, Brandon, with 40 seconds to go. And Old Hogs need a goal.
And we said Carhu Pere had to be near perfect from this point forward. He's been that so far. Now can his team go on the other end and score him a goal to tie this up? That's the question.
As puck crosses, that was almost another one to seal the deal for HC Jessen, Brandon. Remember that. If they come back here, is Saku fighting for it on the left-hand side. Victor the man, behind the net to Batty. Batty out front to Sholin to fire the shot on, and Carhu Pere with a great save. And this is not what Old Hogs needs. They're going to be on the kill for the rest of the game. They need a shorthanded goal. Saku trying to force the issue and get that one ahead. They're offside, Brandon. And I think comfortably HC Jessen is going to walk away with the first win here in the ECL Neo Finals.
And that they will, Tegan. It only took one. It was on the stick of Sholin, but it was enough to carry them through for a game one win. And we talked about the goaltending, and that's what we saw really take over this game. And the goaltending of Ruxies for HC Jessen was the victorious one in this game. A 1-0 victory in game one for HC Jessen over Old Hogs.
HC Jessen has to be feeling very good, and so does Ruxies, Brandon. Is another shutout for this guy.
Yeah, and it's funny, we kind of mentioned earlier, talking about the way these two goalies have played. We talked about the shutouts, and we were kind of looking more at Carhu Pere with those 5 shutouts in 9 games, only 2 on the playoffs in 10 games for Ruxies, but we saw what he was capable of right there. 12 saves, didn't let one goal go in on him. And interestingly enough, thanks to our amazing people in the back helping us out here, the chat, they had Hogs winning this game. 87% voted for Roadhogs compared to 13% for HC Jessen. So maybe pulling off an upset, as some would say here, but a great game there for HC Jessen, really just all around, as that's a really good way to get momentum going and in the right direction in game one, as an interesting stat line there, to say the least.
We'll get a look at some of the replays here, Brandon, as there's only going to be one big one, and it's all that mattered.
Yeah, and it's funny, we mentioned that the goaltending was going to be great. We didn't think they'd only need one here to win this game, but that was all it took. It was on the stick of Sholin into the second period, as we mentioned, and nevertheless, we knew the goaltending was going to be big, but I didn't think it was going to have that big of an impact, where only one goal was what made the difference in this game, with 2 teams that have scored at will all season. An HC Jessen team that, like we mentioned, have scored 6, 7, 8 goals throughout these playoffs in some games, and a team on the other end in Roadhogs that scored 125 goals in 23 regular season games. So these are 2 teams that know how to score and know how to score often. We knew the goaltending was going to be great. I don't think we expected to see just one goal in the entirety of game one, but HC Jessen, they're not complaining. They'll take it. They go up 1-0 in this series because of that.
Yeah, it's going to be goaltending, Brandon, as we'll pop over with a word from our sponsors and be right back.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
Oispa nakki. Kuoret on. Vai sellainen, että kuoret on? Pääasia, että nakit on.
Wilhelm Werneri. Kuoreton tai kuoret on.
We are back here at the ECL Neo Finals, Brandon, and HC Jessen leading here 1-0. And goaltending. I knew we were going to talk about it here. Carhu Pere played absolutely fantastic, but so did Ruxies at the end, getting a shutout.
Yeah, we've talked so much about the goaltending from the open to throughout game one, and even after game one, it continues to be the story. And obviously, you never want to tire any narrative, but just these two goalies, they've been amazing all playoffs. They've really been the forefront of these teams and the success that they have had, along with some of the goal scoring punch that we have seen. And for Carlo Paredes, you can see the numbers on your screen: 89.2 save percentage, under a goal against a game, and 5 shots as well. But it was the man on your left in Ruxies that was able to get the victory with stats that against any other goaltender would look amazing. You'd figured he would be the better goaltender throughout these playoffs statistically, but just with the way Carlo Paredes has played, it's looked more skewed towards him because of that. But Ruxy's the victorious goalie in game one, and it was on his back with a big 12 save performance and a shutout to boot as well.
Yeah, he wanted to make it be known here against Carlo Paredes, who has 5 shutouts. Ruxy's wanted to come out and get one and let it be known. And if this continues, Brandon, it's going to be a very, very close series. This is that first game being a 1-0 win here for HC JEUSSEN.
Yeah, and it's funny because we talked about how we didn't really know the way this was going to go because it was two really good offensive teams that had great goaltending on their side as well. So who was going to be able to break things open when they needed to? In game one, it was HC JEUSSEN. They were really able to get one, but because of that goaltending, because of a few of the blocked shots in front of net as well, cannot understate that, they were able to carry through and see themselves in a game one victory as they're just 2 wins away from becoming champions. And as we close the book on this season, another season approaches, doesn't it, Tegan?
Hey, you know what, Brandon? One of these teams is going to make their day. And if you want to make your day, head over to the ECL website and sign up now, as you're going to want to join this amazing, amazing hockey that happens over across the pond, Brandon.
Yeah, and the ECL, it's always so fun to watch, so fun to cover throughout each of our different tiers. Obviously, we got to call the Pro Series with Jyväskylä winning their championship just a couple of days ago. H-Reds winning the Elite Division over Frölunda in a 5-game series, and now getting to sit here with you calling the Neo Division with HC JEUSSEN and Roadhogs. Just a fun time, always fun to be a part of. So much talent, so many good teams. Always fun to really get to sit back and watch these games and enjoy it with you.
And speaking of good teams, it's Old Hogs going against AC JEUSSEN here at the ECL Neo Finals at Sports Gamer GG. AC JEUSSEN leading this series 1-0, and we're back for a brand new game. And your respective lineups are in the bottom right and left-hand corner of your screen. Puck in the right-hand side, into the middle, and an early shot on by Old Hogs in those white jerseys.
Man, they blend with the ice a little bit with the jersey selection, but maybe it's helping them a little bit of camouflage as Nora Mestari, he was really close to getting the scoring started early. We spent so much time talking about the goaltending. He wanted to get on the scoreboard less than 2 minutes in, but unfortunately for them, Ruxy's yet again making a big save.
Here's Old Hogs in their own zone. They're going to work it up the left-hand side. And are you ever correct, Brandon, as those do blend in with the ice? As we've got the puck moved back into Old Hogs territory, and they're going to work it up left-hand side. Nora Mestari gives that one away. And it's going to be picked up again and finally worked out here by Old Hogs. Fired on, loose in front. And the puck's going to be worked up here by HC JEUSSEN. And we're right back to the game that we had before, Brandon.
Yeah, nothing at a team looking to break through. I wouldn't be shocked if this was another low-scoring game with the defense that these two teams have played and the goaltending that they've had as well.
Puck going to be finally moved up to the point here. Shot is on, and a great save by Carlo Paredes. And we're going to see a power play here.
And that perfect penalty, that's actually HC JEUSSEN that took the penalty. It looked like at first that it was the Ice Hawks that took it, but nevertheless, now we kind of get a look at what we're going to see in terms of the power play. We saw Old Hogs, they had a few chances on the power play. It was a story in game one. They were not able to take advantage of it. Ruxy's with some big saves, some big block shots from HC JEUSSEN as well. Now we'll get to see if they have better luck here in game two, after in game one they weren't able to put one on the board.
Puck going to be held in here by the Hogs and sent out by HC JEUSSEN here in the PK. Shot is on. Great save, Carlo Paredes. Puck in the left-hand corner. Going to be fought for. And finally brought out by Old Hogs. Good interception there by Jessen in the neutral zone, but taken right back by Old Hogs. Finally kept in by Old Hogs. They fire from the point, and a great save as Ruxy's continuing to make perfect saves, Brandon.
And he's continued to be perfect in terms of not allowing a goal past him yet. And yet again, HC JEUSSEN looking like they're going to be towards yet another successful penalty kill. They were 3 for 3 in game 1. They might go 4 for 4 here in game 2 if they keep up on this track. It's another big save from Ruxy's right there, Tegan.
Ruxy's making huge saves there. Victor just throws that one down the ice. And Saku goes D-to-D over to Budheiser. Back over to Saku, and there's the tripping call there, Brandon.
Yeah, now it's another chance here for Old Hogs, and now you're kind of getting to the point, Tegan. This is starting to become a bit of a story now in this series. Old Hogs having some power plays, but not able to take advantage of them. They have to find a way to beat Ruxy's and get past this stout penalty kill of HC JEUSSEN. They've gotten some chances. If they were able to score 1 to 3 in this last game, we could have been in overtime. Now they're on their second. They were able to capitalize on the first, and they do finally right there, Tegan.
There's a big goal there by Old Hogs, and that's going to be their first of the series.
And it couldn't have come at a better time. And, you know, we talk about it, Tegan. It doesn't matter how. It matters how many. Just getting in front of the net, getting that play, a beautifully placed tip and deflection there. And that's exactly what Old Hogs needed. We kind of were talking about how it was starting to become a bit of a story, their lack of success on the penalty kill, or excuse me, on the power play rather. And they were able to get that one. I want to say it was JEUSSEN that was camped in front of the net and got that deflection. But a great play there for Old Hogs to get back in this game, get that power play goal, and take the lead 1-0 in game 2.
Great position by JEUSSEN in front of the net there, Brandon, as he sets himself up and his team up for a gorgeous tip, and they finally get their first goal of the series. And then we're going to see them go to the power play here, Brandon.
Actually, it looks like it'll be another power play here for Old Hogs, so they convert on one. They're 1 for 2, and they'll get another one. HC JEUSSEN going to have to stay out of the box.
Not even Starty into the middle. Shot on from the point by Budheiser is going to be steered away. Not even Starty on the left-hand side, fighting for it. Gets it back to the point. Another tip shot there by Misse. And a big save by Ruxy's. Budheiser over to Nordy Mistadi. And there's going to be a big trip there. And we're going to get some 4-on-4 hockey here.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate penalty there for Old Hogs. It was not the best time for them to take that. They just broke through, got a power play goal, and followed up with another one. HC JEUSSEN, they've had some trouble staying out of the box here, it seems like, through the first 2 games. Total of 6 penalties through the first 4 periods alone. But Old Hogs, with that tripping penalty, gets it to 4-on-4, and now HC JEUSSEN a chance to maybe get something for themselves here with even strength.
A little 4-on-4 hockey. Big slap shot there by JEUSSEN. Is going to be steered away by Kahu Pere. Here's Sholand as he tried to put that one through the middle. Good spin there as they try and get that puck out front. It's going to be picked off by Old Hogs, and here they go 2-on-1. Misse backhand, and that's a great save by Ruxy's, and you'll hear that a lot this series as that one's brought in offside.
And we've heard it a lot already through the first 3.5 periods, Tegan. A great save once again by Ruxy's, who has made many of those here in this game. But nevertheless, HC JEUSSEN now a chance on the power play. 50 seconds left. We'll see if they can tie this thing up. They did pretty well in the first game on it. Weren't able to capitalize, but got some momentum going.
Budheiser behind the net for Old Hogs. He just sends that one all the way down the ice, and that's going to kill it for the remainder of the power play for HC JEUSSEN. Brought in by Sholand. Sholand throws that one in front. Big swallow up by Karu Pere, and he's going to take the face off to the right.
And you know, Tegan, it's interesting. We expected 2 very close games, and it's not really surprising. These 2 met actually in the regular season, and they split the series, both 1-goal games. Old Hogs winning one, HC JEUSSEN winning another. So kind of just showing how close these 2 teams are and the way they play. Both of those were 1-goal games as well. So that trend kind of continuing as it looks like HC JEUSSEN taking yet another penalty here.
Another penalty, and that's not what they need to get back into this hockey game, Brandon.
Yeah, and we talked about a bit of a struggling power play in this game, or in the series rather, for Old Hogs, but they were able to break through in this game, and Old Hogs are one of those teams, they've been dominant all season offensively, and you don't want to play with fire too much with a team like this. The fourth penalty now of this game, 7th of the series, and we're not even four full periods in, so AC JEUSSEN has to stay out of the trouble, has to stay out of the box, because if they don't, Old Hog's going to make them pay for it sooner than later.
Puck brought in by Missy, fires, and a great save there by Ruxies. He's been their best penalty killer so far here in the first period, Brandon.
And arguably their best player so far as well. He's shown up huge. There have been some big opportunities, some clear opportunities for Old Hogs, and Ruxies has just denied them up. They're going to have him continue that so far with his PK.
Puck back to the point. Shot on by Old Hogs into the left-hand corner. Nordi Mastardi out front for Yuzo, and he gets his second of the game with a big one-timer from the slot.
And that is absolutely big for Old Hogs to get that 2-0 lead and take advantage of that power play. And who else but Nordi Mastardi to get that one right there. And this time, off a one-time play, we saw it on the deflection the first time. They tried to get it there before that last opportunity, but they kept with it and got it to convert. This time, a pass back on a one-timer after the tip didn't work, and it worked perfectly there for Yuzo. His second of the game, and Old Hogs up 2-0 now with 2 power play goals.
Puck into the middle is going to be poked away and given away, but given right back to HC JEUSSEN. They come in, tried to fire it on. HC JEUSSEN with a little bit of an opportunity in front of the net is going to be steered to the left-hand corner. Good job by HC JEUSSEN to fight for that one back. I believe that's going to be JEUSSEN fighting for it on the left-hand side. Puck finally moved out here by Old Hogs. Missy tried to make a nice move around the defender, can't get around him. And puck's moved out here by HC JEUSSEN. JEUSSEN to Victor, and that one's offside.
And now, Tegan, for the first time in this series, HC JEUSSEN, they're kind of on their heels a little bit with their backs against the wall. Those 2 power play goals were absolutely huge for Old Hogs, and it puts them in a position up 2-0 where they're really in control of this game. HC JEUSSEN going to have to find a way to score and break past a really good goalie in Carter Perne.
Puck dumped all the way down the ice. It's going to be cleared and up to JEUSSEN for HC JEUSSEN. They need 2 goals. They fire that one on, and Kadu Pede makes a nice save before going to the first intermission.
Oh, and they tried to get the scoring started right there, but not able to get that one to go through. But the story of this one, how about Old Hogs? We talked about their power play struggling a little bit in game 1. Started out as a struggle in game 2, but the last 2, they've been able to capitalize, and it is the reason they are up 2-0. HC JEUSSEN just not able to stay disciplined and not stay in the box. They've really struggled with that in the series. It's continued here in game 2, and realistically, it's given Old Hogs the platform to get this 2-0 lead because of those power play opportunities, Tegan.
As great period here by Old Hogs. What an answer. Yuzo coming out with 2 huge goals here for his team, Brandon. And now we have the goaltender at the other end playing fantastic.
Yeah, and we expected him to. Kadu Pede, he's made multiple big saves in this game when HC JEUSSEN has been on that even strength, but they're going to need him to continue that. They have this lead now, and with the way Kadu Pede has played, you have to feel pretty good about your chances, so we'll see if he can continue this, especially with the form he's been in the playoffs. They're up 2-0 and a nice lead going into the second period.
As we have second period here in the ECL Neo Finals. Best of 5, JEUSSEN leading 1-0 here in the series, but oh, what a save! Kadu Pede flashing the leather twice there, Brandon, with 2 huge saves.
Well, we said he needed to continue his form, and he answers with a big glove save right there. What a play from Kadu Pede. You know, Old Hogs, they are loving that with this 2-0 lead to see their goalie making big saves just like that one.
Puck is going to be rushed down the ice. Oh, what a play there by Rambos. As he stripped that Old Hogs player of that puck, Brandon, that was phenomenal. As Yuzo, the goal scorer, tries to go to his D-man, but HC JEUSSEN firing on all cylinders, especially from the point, as Max Mias puts that one in the back of the net.
If HC JEUSSEN comes back and wins this game, remember the pick play in the neutral zone. That was going to be a breakaway for Old Hogs, and they could have had a clear-cut scoring chance to make it up 3-0. But HC JEUSSEN, the great defensive play on their end from, I want to say it was Rambos that came up with that one. A great play from him, turns into an offensive play, and HC JEUSSEN capitalizes to make it 2-1. We talk about great defense turning into great offense. That was it right there, Deegan.
And as the game gets a little closer, Brandon, our chat decided that they wanted to get a little bit closer there, as Max Mias was the goal scorer on that one, and it was a gorgeous one at that, as our chat split 53 for the Hogs, 47 for JEUSSEN, as they were a little more convincing last time, Brandon, but not this time, as that puck tries to get moved out, but HC JEUSSEN right back to work. Here's Sholin. Out front is Carhu Pere, holds that one on the line.
Oh, and Carhu Pere, he has made some big saves. He might have let that one go past him there on the last possession, but not this time. A big save there from the Old Hogs goalie to keep this lead for his team.
Puck on the left-hand side. That one comes over the line. It's offside. HC JEUSSEN has to touch up. And here goes Misse into the middle of the Yuzo, looking for his hat-trick goal. He's not going to get it this time, as he's a step offside.
Yeah, and we'll see if things continue this rapid pace or if we kind of slow it down here just a little bit. As we saw, that was a big play there from HC JEUSSEN to get the goal scoring started, and they had another opportunity just right after that. But we'll see if this thing slows down. Old Hogs, I know, would not mind it. You kind of get the feeling that HC JEUSSEN is starting to pick things up, and their momentum starting to gain a little bit more and more with every minute.
Yuzo gets that over to Saku, and Old Hogs work the puck out here as they have a 2-1 lead as we reach the halfway mark in this hockey game. Here comes Misse, fires that one on, and a great save by Iruxes. Victor up the left-hand boards as he catches Batty streaking, but Yuzo's back. Batty takes it right back out front, and great job by Carhu Pere to steer that into the left-hand corner. Here goes HC JEUSSEN as they fire that one on. It's just in front of Carhu Pere, holds on.
I don't think it worked out, but I believe HC JEUSSEN was going for a tip play right there. You saw the left winger in Sholin kind of camp in front of that net, and it hit off his body, but I think he was trying to get that tip, similar to what we saw in the first goal for Old Hogs. Didn't work out for him, but that's something to look out here for this HC JEUSSEN squad.
Big hit in that right-hand corner. Budheiser gets it up to Saku. Left-hand side there for Nori Mastari, but he gives that away, and HC JEUSSEN sends that one ahead. Puck is picked up. It's going to be bumped and wrapped around behind the net. Nori Mastari turns that puck over. Puck support is good, though, but it's given away to Batty here for HC JEUSSEN. He has it poked off his stick over to the right-hand side. And that puck's going to be dumped all the way back down. And here goes HC JEUSSEN. They give it away, though, over to Budheiser. And oh, we see, Brandon, we've seen that way too often over the last couple days. Is we need a patch for that, as it cost the team $20,000 last night, as there's a big bump off and the puck's going to be carried out of the zone. Good puck pick up here as puck's moved out over to the left-hand side. HC JEUSSEN gets Batty. Batty, good pass as he almost had Victor cutting to the net, Brandon, but Victor wasn't able to get that one. Puck moved ahead now, breakaway. Here comes Nori Mastari, and he scores! What a goal as Old Hogs go up 3-1.
And you know, Tegan, plays and sequences like that are what make this game so interesting to watch. You see HC JEUSSEN having a chance, that cut play attempt to Victor, not able to convert, and then all of a sudden, Old Hogs, they're going in on the other end, and they score right after. A chance for HC JEUSSEN to potentially tie this game up. Goes in on the other side and turns into a second goal for Old Hogs in terms of their lead to now double it. Right when you feel HC JEUSSEN are getting back into this game, Old Hogs respond, and that's a big goal for them and their chances to win this one.
Puck is going to be moved out by HC JEUSSEN, and now it's a 3-1 hockey game where HC JEUSSEN leads the series 1-0. Batty brings that one in, looking for an answer. Good pickup by Yuzo. Gets it around to Misse. Up to Budheiser, back to Misse. As they can't get out of the zone, and what a goal by JEUSSEN, and that's the answer they were looking for before the third period.
Oh, and it's a big answer right there, Tegan. 1 minute and 8 seconds left. They just went down by 2 yet again, and HC JEUSSEN finds a way to respond. You don't want to go down against this Old Hogs team for too long, especially with the way Karhu Pere has played back there in net, but HC JEUSSEN find that response. This is the fast minute 2, so about 30 seconds left in this second period. If they can hold on to this 1 goal deficit, that really helps their chances going into the third.
As I couldn't agree with you more, Brandon, and HC JEUSSEN has been buzzing here. As that puck's brought in offside by Old Hogs. But how about that answer, Brandon? That's exactly what you need, especially in a playoff game.
Yeah, and not only that, but you have to remember HC JEUSSEN, there's a lot to play for them here. They're already up 1-0 in this series. If they can manage this comeback, go up 2-0, they just have to win 1 of the next 3 to win themselves a championship here. So this is a big game that maybe swing the way this series could go, and you can tell HC JEUSSEN, they won despite getting down early.
And that does it there for the first 2 periods of game number 2. Old Hogs versus JEUSSEN here in the ECL Neo Finals at Sports Gamer GG.
And it looks like as well that at the end of that play there at the second period, I couldn't tell who it was, but there's going to be a power play for one of these 2 sides. I'd love to see what the penalty exactly was there, but there is going to be a power play for one of these 2 teams here when we get into the third. So a chance for either Old Hogs to get back to that 2-goal lead or for HC JEUSSEN to tie it up. But it's fun, Tegan. You look at the stats. Things pretty similar for both of these 2 teams. The shots not a big difference. Time to attack only about 10 to 15 seconds really separating the 2 teams. And now as we get a look at that goal there from HC JEUSSEN and now the other one here in the second period from Old Hogs, it's been interesting because there's not really been a lot separating these 2 teams. And I think the difference, the power play for Old Hogs, not able to capitalize in the first, but able to capitalize in the second. They've been so good on the special teams here in this game.
They have, Brandon, as we dive into period number 3 here in the ECL Neo Finals. In game number 2 in this series where HC JEUSSEN leads, but loses, or not loses, I guess, trails in this game as they are down 3-2. You see the respective lineups in the bottom right and left-hand corners of your screen. As here comes Batty. Nice move as he comes through. That one's going to be turned over to Old Hogs. They send that one all the way down. Can Misse beat it out? He does. Misse back to the point, shot on, tipped all the way through, and oh, there's another bounce, Brandon. That is just painful to see.
And it gave HC JEUSSEN a free clear out after what was a really dangerous chance there as they try to counterattack.
Not going to be brought in there by JEUSSEN. It's turned over. As Old Hogs. Oh, right out of the box there, Brandon, and that is an undisciplined penalty. As JEUSSEN now going to the power play and maybe a little bit of momentum from killing that one off and going directly to the power play.
You know, it's so interesting because that is so rare. You see a player take a penalty, come back in, and 5 seconds later, he draws a penalty. That was pretty wild to watch, but Old Hogs, that is not what they needed. They get that power play, maybe not able to convert on it, but they have the lead, so it's not too big of a deal. But now you give HC JEUSSEN a chance to get back in this game and get a power play of their own as they try to convert, but a big save by Karhu Pere there.
Karhu Pere needs to be perfect here for the rest of this period, Brandon, and you know what? That's not too hard of a task to ask a guy like Karhu Pere once you see his gorgeous numbers as he was showing up last game at the other end, not looking to have that happen again. Misse brings that puck out for Old Hogs on the kill. Nice move. Back door. What a play to Yuzo. And that's his hat trick here for Old Hogs.
And short-handed, nevertheless, Tegan. That cannot happen if you were HC JEUSSEN. That was a disastrous play for them. A chance to tie this game up on the power play, some momentum potentially on their side, and you let Old Hogs go in on the other end, and that was just a clean look there for that play. I mean, there was no defense really there. It was a clean shot on the goaltender in Ruxies, and now Old Hogs, not did they just take the penalty, but they were able to score on it shorthanded and get back that 2-goal deficit. So this is imperative now for HC JEUSSEN to score quick, because that was a bad misfortune to play for them right there.
That was gorgeous there as Karhu Pere capitalized and swallowed that one up as he put that one off a player. There goes HC JEUSSEN. Looking to drive that one out front and couldn't. Puck going to be put all the way back to the goaltender. Here goes HC JEUSSEN through the middle. Puck picked up by Old Hogs, and they just throw that one down in the backhand. Good clear by them. And it's given right back to Old Hogs. Juuso now the hat trick in this game. He throws it all the way down. And they get their player back. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Here comes JEUSSEN. Nice move there by Scholand as he faked the slap shot, tried to drive middle. Big shot on there. Gets blocked. It's free and they score, but I think it's going to be called back here, Brandon. As maybe this could be called back. A little bit of a bump. Player in the crease there. I can see the referee pulling this one back, but they definitely do. We'll get a face-off here to the left of Carter Perry as he's thanking his lucky stars. Big save there as Saku around to the right-hand side. Finally, puck gets moved out here by Old Hogs. Nardi Mastardi trying to jet through the middle, but he's bumped off the puck. Juuso behind the net, pinned along the wall. Juuso comes out with a backhand on. Great save by Iruxes. That one gets back out to the neutral zone. 12 minutes to go here in the third period. It's going to be Budheiser. Wraps that one around, and now it's going to be Misse up to Nardi Mastardi. And Batty takes that one away, and here goes JEUSSEN. Scholand looks back to the point, intercepted, and here we go! Nardi Mastardi, one-on-one with Iruxes, and Iruxes says not today, with a huge save here. And remember that one if they come back, but oh no, it's given away back door, and oh, Nardi Mastardi again, robbed by Iruxes.
And I think Ruxies has had enough excitement for a 2 or 3 minute sequence there, Tegan. The big breakaway save and nearly another chance there at the end for Old Hogs, but just not able to convert. HC JEUSSEN have to clean things up and get things going. There's been a lot of turnovers here for them.
And there's a huge goal! As, oh, that could be the dagger, Brandon. As what a massive goal that is here for Old Hogs.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they needed there. It was a big play there from Misse, who scored that goal. And man, just unfortunate for HC JEUSSEN. It just feels like whenever they were able to get back in this game, just Old Hogs had that response. They were able to capitalize on some of the mistakes HC JEUSSEN made, and every single time they made it work and made it happen. And Old Hogs now a 3-goal deficit that they have over HC JEUSSEN. You have to like their chances to see this thing through and tie this series 1-1.
5-2 hockey game here, Brandon, is Old Hogs with a huge answer game as they try to come in the back end to get another one. And oh, I believe Misse might have put that one off his own player, Nardi Mastardi, as it looked like it was a yawning cage. I wasn't able to see what that puck went off of, Brandon. Did you have a look there?
Yeah, I wasn't really able to see. It might have hit off of potentially another player. Couldn't really tell there. Would love to see a replay if that possible. It's a chance for HC JEUSSEN once again there, Tegan.
I would love to get another look at that as Batty tries to bring that one into the zone. And there's going to be a trip, and we'll have a power play here for JEUSSEN.
Yeah, and HC JEUSSEN, they need it badly here. Obviously, there's still some time. You never know what can happen. We have seen these comebacks before. You get a goal or two in the right amount of time, then you're back in this game. But only 5:12 to go. Have to act quickly here for HC JEUSSEN and want a chance to get back in this game.
Saku clears that one all the way down the ice. Good pickup there and good hustle by Nardi Mastardi. That puck's going to be taken away. And here goes JEUSSEN. Budheiser dumps that one all the way down the ice. Good play there by the goaltender for JEUSSEN. Juuso. That one's off the body. And over to the left-hand side, I believe that's Scholand into the middle. Scholand still with it. Back to the point. That one's blocked. And fought for on the right-hand side. Got on by JEUSSEN. Good save by Carter Perry. And Batty has the puck on the left-hand side now. Victor over to Batty. Back to the point to Rambo. Rambo walks all the way in, but he's poke-checked. And good kill there as they get Misse out of the box. Victor over to Max Mias. Ahead to Scholand. Left-hand side to Batty. Batty tried to sauce that one into the middle. Good puck pick up there by JEUSSEN. And we have under 2 minutes to go as we get the warning here, Brandon. As here
Yeah,
comes
and now
Nardi Mastardi. Nardi Mastardi back into the right-hand corner. And here comes Misse. Over to Yuzo. Yuzo's bumped off at the puck, and that's offside. Sorry about that, Brandon.
yeah, no worries. I was just going to say that was potentially a game-clinching kill there for the Old Hogs. That was absolutely huge for them, and you just kind of feel that HC JEUSSEN, they made some mistakes that they were not able to come back from. A few penalties that led to power play goals. They had the shorthanded goal they allowed, and then the last goal off of the turnover as well. Old Hogs, they were just able to take advantage of those mistakes that HC JEUSSEN made. A big difference between Game 1 and Game 2 with the way they were able to play offensively.
It was a great saucer pass through by Jess, and it didn't connect with anybody, though, Brandon. And Kadu Perez is just going to hold on with 37 seconds left. And I think it's safe to say that we're possibly going to have a tie series here in the ECL Neo final.
And we know at the very least we will be going to 4 games now. There will be no 2-0 lead for HC JEUSSEN in this case. We'll be tied at 1-1, and it becomes the best of 3 from this point forward.
We've seen that a lot, haven't we? Carhu Pere holds on to that one again, and he's just got to make routine saves. And what a great answer game for him and his team, Old Hogs.
Yeah, and it's the exact game that they needed. And in my opinion, at least, this game 2 was a must-win for Old Hogs. With the way that game 1 went, being shut out 1-0, if you go down 2-0 against HC JEUSSEN, it was going to be a really tough task for them to come back and win 3 straight. To get this victory right here puts them back into the series and puts them in position to take home this championship in this next couple of games.
Puck going to be dumped all the way down. Our last icing, I'd presume here. 10 seconds to go. And Brandon, what does JEUSSEN have to do to answer here in game number 3?
I think it's just a matter of limiting the mistakes. I think that a lot of what had to do with this game and the reason the scoreline was the way that it was some of the mistakes that HC JEUSSEN made. You saw they took 5 or 6 different penalties, and Old Hogs, they were able to take advantage with 2 or 3 power play goals, and you have the shorthanded goal where HC JEUSSEN, it was a 1-goal game, and they had that chance to tie it up. They allowed the shorthanded goal, and ever since that point, they were never able to really get back into it, and obviously the turnover in their own end led to a goal for Old Hogs as well. So I think the big thing is just limiting the mistakes. When they weren't playing that mistake-esque hockey, they were able to win when it wasn't riddled with some of those plays that you don't want to see. This time, they made a few mishaps, and Old Hogs, they were able to take advantage of it more times than not. So just limiting the mistakes, playing a little bit cleaner, cleaning a few things up on the offensive and defensive end, and then I think you like the chances for HC JEUSSEN, but they're going to have to play a little bit of a cleaner game in different ways here in these next few games if they want to win the series.
Brandon, player of the game for the respective teams here is still a pretty good game by JEUSSEN, but not able to come out with a W. But I think there were still some good points to their hockey game.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you saw when they were able to get on 5-on-5 and get some momentum going. You looked like the HC JEUSSEN team that we saw in game 1 that was dominant on the defensive end and turned it into good offense more times than not. And some of the scoring chances that they had were rather nice as well. They beat Carupere pretty cleanly, and it wasn't with a tricky play to where a puck bounced here or there. It was a clean look where they earned an opportunity and capitalized on it. It's just they were not able to do that enough because they got a little bit behind with some of those mistakes. You can see Old Hogs 2 for 5 on the power play, and then you add in the shorthanded goal as well. If you don't allow the shorthanded goal and you don't take those penalties, we're maybe looking at this thing going into overtime. And not only that, but similar to Old Hogs in game 1, some of the power play chances that HC JEUSSEN had, they weren't able to take advantage of those as well. 0 for 3 on the PP for them as well. So it was just one of those games, unfortunately, for HC JEUSSEN, just things not really going their way, a few mistakes here and there, and it unfortunately kind of just snowballed into a result that we saw in this one.
Yeah, snowball for sure, Brandon. And, I'd say now that we got a best of 3 series here, JEUSSEN is right back where they need to be. And this is right back to even hockey. Is great answer there by Old Hogs. And you're right. It was just a couple of different plays that need to be adjusted. And this is right back to, a 2-2-3-3 hockey game.
Yeah, and I think that is what really goes to show you. I know it's maybe coach speak to say this, but every single play matters. It can lead up to different areas and different times of the game to where if the result doesn't go your way, you may look back afterwards and like, man, I would love to have that one trip that gave the other team that momentum back, or I would love to have that missed pass that turned into a turnover back. It's just funny how these things that can just kind of snowball, like we said earlier, into the result of the entirety of the game. And for HC JEUSSEN, we kind of saw that. It's not that they played a bad game by any stretch of the imagination. You saw the stats for a little bit on your screen. They played rather evenly with Old Hogs in terms of the statistics of shots and time on attack. It's just the timing of the plays and the type of plays that they had, some of the turnovers, some of the power plays, some of the penalties. It just snowballed into that effect to where they were not able to do enough to get themselves back into this game.
Yeah, but now we are back to a best of 3 here, even though this is a best of 5 here in the ECL Neo Finals. Both teams winning 1 per side, as we'll get a word from our sponsors and be right back for game number 3.
Oispa nakki. Kuoret on. Vai sellainen, että kuoret on?
Pääasia, nakit on. Wilhelm Werneri. Kuoreton tai kuoret on.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
And here we are back for game number 3, Brandon. Does that look delicious? As a word from our quick sponsors of Wilhelm, Kovalan Lakritsi, and ST Hockey here at Sports Gamer GG. And it's game number 3.
Yeah, in a game number 3, that could very well sway the way that this series ends up taking itself, because you have to remember, the winner of this game 3 becomes in a situation where they are 1 win away from taking home that championship. So this could very well be the game to where whoever wins this could see themselves in a position to go home and take that championship in game 4 or game 5, depending on how things go. And I think for Old Hogs, they'd be plenty happy with seeing things continue in the direction that they saw in game 2 with the way that they played.
Yeah, you got to be happy if you're Old Hogs. That's a huge answer game, Brandon. The shots were only 1 different. 18 shots for Old Hogs, 17 for JEUSSEN. So Karhu Pere definitely came out and let it be known that he's just as good as goaltender as Iruxy's on the other side.
And both teams in that 4-minute time on attack range as well. So things were, as we mentioned, rather even between 2 teams, only a minute more time on attack, interestingly enough, for HC JEUSSEN compared to Old Hogs. So things were rather even, and everything, for the most part, it's just, like we said, Old Hogs, they were able to take advantage of the opportunities they got. A few mistakes from HC JEUSSEN led to some opportunities and some goals for Old Hogs. So we'll see if they clean things up in game 3. If they do, have to like their chances, but Old Hogs, with the way they were able to finally get things going for themselves offensively, and then as you mentioned, Tegan, the goaltending of Karhu Pere, you know they're feeling good going into this game 3 as well.
Yeah, Old Hogs is definitely signing Karhu Pere next season, and JEUSSEN is definitely going to ink up Iruxy's. And speaking of signing, you can jump into the ECL on Sports Gamer and sign up now and join this amazing hockey that we get to call, Brandon.
Yeah, the ECL, always so fun to watch. Our sponsors of ST Hockey, Wilhelm and Kovalan Lakritsi, supporting us in this ECL. And like we said, Tegan, it's so fun to watch this, and we kind of mentioned it earlier, just the amount of parity and the amount of depth that we see within each of these divisions. We saw it in the Pro Series, we saw it in the Elite Series, with teams coming out of nowhere to make these deep playoff runs, and some of them even winning championships. We're seeing it again here in the Neo Division with HC JEUSSEN, a 9 seed, Old Hogs, a 4 seed, playing a really close series, and 2 teams that have been dominant and almost caught some teams by surprise in terms of the way that they played in the playoffs. And don't expect any differently next season. It's always a fun time. You always have great hockey here in the ECL. Going to be a blast to be here and watch these games unfold here in the spring season.
As we're going to breakaway right off the rip, and Mitsay comes in, and what a save by Iruxy's, and what a save again as he flashes the leather. And well, Brandon, hey, how you doing? Welcome to game 3, baby, as we're fired up, and we'll get a power play for JEUSSEN to get started.
Old Hogs say enough about the spring season. We're not there yet. We are still focused on the winter season in front of us right now. We weren't 5 seconds into this game, and all of a sudden, there was a breakaway chance and 2 big saves from Ruxy's. Absolutely unreal. If that is any indication of what we're going to see in this game, Tegan, boy, are we in for a treat.
What a start, Brandon. As usually we get to calm things down, you know, say we're here at the ECL Neo, maybe give a shout out to our sponsors, maybe even plug ourselves. But Missy said not today, as we're going to get a breakaway right off the rip, and we'll now get a power play for JEUSSEN. And, you know, after that momentum burst from Old Hogs, they got to be thanking their lucky stars here. As the puck is going to be moved out front. Another trip here, and we'll go to 4-on-4 hockey.
Yeah, and unfortunately for HC JEUSSEN, this is what we talked about in this game too, limiting your mistakes. They get a chance to go on the power play to start this game, and they go back and take another penalty here, Tegan. So now you go from having a chance to take advantage with that short man on the other end. Now it's back to 4-on-4 hockey, even strength, and more space on the ice for your opposition. So HC JEUSSEN, unfortunately, we said they needed to clean up the penalties. Not a good start there in this game 3.
As we'll get another whistle and another penalty as the parade to the box continues.
Yeah, I was talking about HC JEUSSEN not needing to take a penalty and losing their power play, and they pulled out the reversed card and drew a penalty on Ice Hogs. So now we're to the rare 4-on-3 hockey, and Deegan, we're two minutes in, and we've seen just about everything, it seems like. This is pretty wild.
4-on-3 as that face-off is one back. Missy sends that one ahead. They expected to throw it all the way down, and that is amazing. What an amazing start, Brandon. As here we are at the ECL Neos Finals on Sports Gamer GG. 4-on-3. Back on the left-hand side, Victor fires. That one's off a body and wide. Victor gets that back to the point, D-to-D, and that's a great glove save by Karu Perhe.
And Old Hogs, they're going to need Karu Perhe to continue doing what he has done so well throughout this series and throughout this season, and that is make big saves. 4-on-3, and HC JEUSSEN, they're a good scoring side when they have the opportunity, so Karu Perhe going to have to continue making saves like that one to keep this a 0-0.
Puck brought out by JEUSSEN. Good passing here as they bring it on the backhand. It's a great save as JEUSSEN was stuffed back door, and here goes Yuzo. He had a hat trick in the last game, looking to build on that for Old Hog. As it looks like we're going to get another penalty here, Brandon.
Yeah, these teams, I don't know if there's some Wilhelm in the box, but they're loving it over there, it seems like, Tegan. There's been a lot of penalties here, and we're just 4 minutes into this game. If I'm correct, that's the 4th penalty in 4 minutes exactly. So we're seeing a lot of special teams hockey, not a lot of 5-on-5. We'll see if Old Hogs can take advantage of this power play the way they did so well in game 2.
Puck going to be dumped all the way down into Old Hogs territory, and they're going to work it out here on the power play. Missy into the middle, the Yuzo to Nordi Mistari, back to the point. That one's fired on by Saku, and great save by Iruxis. Puck all the way down behind the net. Big hit, and we're going to see another delayed penalty as that charge maybe not necessary as Missy looks for a backhand through. He can't thread the needle. He's in the right-hand side, battling for it. And big swallow up there by Iruxis.
Yeah, and they're going to call the charging, as you mentioned, Tegan, and it's going to be interesting. I mean, he took about 5 or 6 strides right there, nailed him into the boards, and they're going to only call 2 minutes, but you honestly could maybe even have debated that could have been a 5-minute major. So HC JEUSSEN, obviously, unfortunate to take the penalty, but maybe lucky that it's not bigger on that one.
5-on-3 here, so a good chance for Old Hog. Saku, backdoor, Messe. What a save by Iruxis. Puck is going to be wrapped around back to the point here. Budheiser over to Saku, back to Budheiser. That one's off Missy and into the corner out front. Over to the left-hand side. What a passing play as Nori Mistari buries that one-timer.
And that's a big goal for Nori Mistari right there. And you have that 5-on-3 you have to take advantage of. And Old Hogs, they have been so good the last 2 games of being able to do that. And if you're HC JEUSSEN at this point, you just have to stay out of the box. I believe this is 8 or 9 penalties through the first 6.5 periods of the series. It's so hard to win a game or get anything going when you're staying in the box the way they have. They're a really good team. They're a great offensive side when they're on 5-on-5, but they've just been shorthanded. It seems like they've always had someone in the box these last couple games, and it's really putting them in a tight position.
That puck is going to be shot on. Pops over back door, and a backhand shovel shot there by JEUSSEN on Karu Perhe, and he makes a great save.
And Karhu Perhe, we've mentioned it a few times, but he's going to hope to continue his form of making big saves. It's another one right there as HC JEUSSEN trying to break things through as they finally see some 5-on-5 time.
As Batty takes that one for JEUSSEN off the tie-up and ties the game.
And that's a big one there for HC JEUSSEN. They absolutely needed that right off the face-off play, just the old tie him up and go in and shoot it. We see that play so often, maybe not as much from the elite teams, but you see it a lot from a lot of teams in the NHL community. It's a very common play. They executed it well right there. A clear shot on Karhu Perhe, who might have been a little bit out of position on that one. The first real mistake we've seen for him, but HC JEUSSEN, a huge goal to maybe switch their momentum in their favor now.
As Brandon, I think that was the old faithful in 21 is the big tie-up play, but it's so overused now, and it's executed just perfectly there because nobody expects it anymore, and it works out very well. So you're absolutely right with that, as that puck gets moved around the outside, and JEUSSEN has tied this game 1-1. Is why not reach into the history books and pull out an old face-off play there, Brandon? That one's going to be poked off. We'll possibly see an odd man rush the other way, but not if Old Hogs have anything to say about it. Their defense playing very good here, and that puck gets moved up to Misse. Over to Norty Mistari. Shot is on. Puck is loose and taken away by Ruxies.
And another big save by Ruxies right there. But as we were kind of talking about seeing with those face-off plays, it's so interesting. You know that term, the oldest trick in the book. Well, sometimes when the trick is a little bit overused, you kind of see teams stray away from it. It's another big save from Ruxies there.
It's Ruxies. You know, when a goaltender like that gives up 5 in the game before, he's definitely going to want to come out with a massive answer there, Brandon. He's doing very good so far in this hockey game as we reach the 7-minute mark here in the first period. Game number 3 in the ECL Neo Finals on SportsGamer GG. As Yuzo, good interception. Back to the point here to Budheiser. Up the middle to Misse. And Old Hogs just dumped that one in deep. Puck in the right-hand sidewall is going to be wrapped around and moved out on the breakout here by JEUSSEN. Good bump, and the puck pops loose. Fired out front is a good opportunity. Another backhand on by, I believe, Sholand. He picks it back up. And puck's going to be carried out up the right-hand side. Good pass as that one gets through, and a great goal there by the Old Hogs.
And that's exactly what they needed. A perfectly executed play. Another goal as well for Norty Mistari there, his second of this game. And look at that pass right there, Tegan. Just right in the perfect place for Norty Mistari to get that puck and shoot it the minute he got it. It was perfectly placed, hit off of the post, and the Old Hogs once again in the lead up 2-1. A perfectly placed pass there to start that off through 3 people.
Puck gets dumped in left-hand corner. Norty Mistari tries to carry that one out as Old Hogs' great answer is they get a big goal to take this one to 2-1. Misse brings it over the line on the backhand, throws it over, and that one's picked up by Saku. Wraps it around down low. Good interception there by the JEUSSEN defense. Misse fired on, and a great save by Ruxies. Puck is going to be brought out now by JEUSSEN. He's hit hard there on the right-hand side. Yuzo wraps it around behind the net, and another big hit. As I believe that was Saku that was hit hard behind the net. Not sure by who. As Norty Mistari puts that one in deep. Good battle on the right-hand board. Sholand gets that ahead. He gets a retrieval pass. Nice move as he gets into the zone. Drops it back to the point, but that misses his player that was there, and that's offside.
Yeah, and we saw that big hit there from HC JEUSSEN. That's something that we've kind of seen from them throughout this series. They are not afraid to lay the body. Obviously, that one time it drew the penalty, but it's something that we've seen from them being physical, not afraid to throw that hit every now and then. Going to be interesting to see how that continues to affect this game, as it looks like there's an Old Hogs player that's actually injured on that play as well in Saku, so something to look out there for as well.
As that'll take us to the end of the period here, Brandon, and a great start here for Old Hogs as they lead 2-1.
Yeah, and it's exactly what Old Hogs wanted to do going into this Game 3. They played well in Game 2, capitalized on their chances, and once again here in Game 3, they're doing the exact same thing. They got the big power play goal to start out, and then the nice goal there on the pass through 3 different HC JEUSSEN defenders to the winger of Nora Mastari to get that goal. So, Old Hogs, you gotta like the way you're playing. It's a big day and night difference, it feels like, from game 1, isn't it, Tegan, where it felt like they couldn't get anything going and couldn't convert on their chances. Now, it feels like whenever they have that prime opportunity, they're typically scoring on it.
I couldn't agree with you more. As what a play that was, as that one gets through the middle there, Brandon.
Yeah, and that was that pass I was talking. Just really a perfectly paced pass. If you put it 1 inch to the right or 1 inch to the left, that play does not go the way it does. You get it through the 2 defenders. You get it through the center, who it went through, I believe, the skate, not literally through, but between the skates of the center of HC JEUSSEN. So a great play there from Old Hogs. That was probably the prettiest play that we've seen so far in the series. But Tegan, I doubt we're done yet. These guys have a lot of skill on these 2 sides.
Nori Mastari trying to battle in the offensive zone. Puck is down low. As we are here in period number 2 and game number 3 in the ECL Neo Finals. As that puck is brought into the offensive zone and they score. And Brandon, we see another one from behind the net off the goaltender skating in.
You know, Tegan, it's something that we've seen a lot, especially the last couple of weeks. Obviously, there's been a game update, and it seems like that hasn't changed too much. A few of those goals from that kind of red line area right where the post would be set, just trickling it in off of a pass. It goes in off of the goaltender, and we've seen that a lot of times, it feels like, recently, and once again, it benefits HC JEUSSEN this time around. So 2-2, and it feels like we have a pretty back and forth game on our hands here, Tegan. This is going to be interesting to watch how this plays out.
Is no better game to start this, which is now a best of 3, and that was a great goal by the defenseman Maximes, who came down and got that one, Bren. Puck in the left-hand boards. Moved up front. Good interception there by JEUSSEN as they got lucky, and now they have to be good. As Batty fires that one on. Big save. It's loose up front, and they score. JEUSSEN gets another one in Sholand.
And that's huge for HC JEUSSEN. Their first lead since the Game 1, in which they won 1-0. And Tegan, what do we always say? You put the puck on net, you never know how it will benefit you and what will happen. That's exactly what HC JEUSSEN does there. They get the rebound, and none other than the winger in Sholand in the perfect position to get that rebound, capitalize. And I know you use this term a lot, Tegan, but I'm going to borrow it this time. Nothing but a yawning cage in front for him to bury that puck through. And HC JEUSSEN take their first lead since game 1, but they take another penalty here to get Old Hogs a chance to tie it back up.
Yeah, Brandon, as that's not want to have happen, as we see a trip on the left-hand side there, and going to the power play will now be Old Hogs looking for an answer in this 2-2 hockey game. Face-off is one back. Nori Mastari, and that one's off a shin pad and wide. Misse in the slot, tried to rip that one on. Victor moves that one ahead to Sholand, but that one's turned over. And here goes Yuzo, who had a hat trick in game number 2. He's looking to extend that, as JEUSSEN now leads this game 3-2. Here's Batty. Batty's bumped off the puck. Yuzo now up the left-hand boards to Nori Mastari. Nori Mastari at the line. Goes over to the right-hand side to Budizer. Over to Yuzo. Back over to Saku. Saku fired, and that one steered away by Iruxes. Here's Saku. Saku moves that one up. It's Misse in the middle to Yuzo. Over to Nori Mastari. Nori Mastari fires. Big blocker save. And puck's going to be moved out here, Brandon. And puck behind the net, and we'll get a power play here for Old Hogs.
Yeah, and once again, Old Hogs with a power play, and HC JEUSSEN once again in the box. It was Sholin this time around. Old Hogs going to try to take advantage of that power play, and it felt like it was the difference in the first two games. In game one, they weren't able to. In game two, they were. One game they lost, the other they won, the other being game two. So now they're going to try to take advantage right here as they try to get back in and tie this game up.
Look at the point. It's going to be moved down low. Misse fires. Good block there in front by JEUSSEN as they look to kill off this power play. Old Hogs go back to work. Big diving block there. As what a play that was. We'll have to find out who that was, Brandon. As that was a great play. No twig. That player just got down in front of that puck. And here goes Saku. Over the right-hand side for Budheiser. That one's going to be wrapped around. Back to the point. Shot is on. A good job by Batty to clear that out. Budheiser keeps it into the point. Misse in front is going to be taken away. And Batty. Puck is going to be brought out here, Brandon. That's a great kill by JEUSSEN.
And I think Batty, the star of the kill on that one. He was the one that blocked that shot and also was able to get that big play. But JEUSSEN, another penalty. It just feels like that they have not been able to sustain long runs without getting in trouble of being in the boxes. Now they're going to have to kill off yet another penalty here. And we talked about earlier, Tegan, if you play with fire too much, this Old Hogs team, very good offensively. They'll make you pay for it. And oh man, JEUSSEN, they're really playing with fire here with these penalties.
Face off in the offensive zone for Old Hogs as they go back to work here. Looking to even this game up here in the power play. Look on the left-hand side. That's a huge hit. Batty behind the net. Messe out front and pops Nori Mastari fires and a great save by Iruxes. Big shot on, and that's a good save by Iruxes.
Yeah, and JEUSSEN, they're going to rely on Ruxies to make some more big saves as he has done all series long. And the thing for JEUSSEN is now you find yourselves in that penalty kill situation yet again. Ruxies has been your best PK guy so far in your goaltender, so just have to keep relying on him to make those big saves when needed.
Puck's brought in. That one's going to be offside, and a lot of penalties here for JEUSSEN in this game here, Brandon.
Yeah, and it's been a pretty back and forth PK. They did well on the penalty kill in game one, not so much in game two. So far in game three, not too bad, and they're trying to get this thing cleared out. It was a great PK last time and try to replicate that success this time as well.
Noni Mastari in the corner, looks to toe drag into the middle, but he's stuffed there, and another penalty by HC JEUSSEN. It's been a revolving door to the penalty box here, Brandon.
I was joking about there maybe being some Wilhelm in the box, so maybe there is some Kovalan Locker to see in the box as well. But HC JEUSSEN, they're in a good position. They're up 3-2. They have a chance to go up 2-1 in this series. They're playing well when they're on the 5-on-5, but they just keep getting themselves in trouble, not staying out of the box. If you give Old Hogs all of these chances, they're going to capitalize at one point or another, especially with being 5-on-3 now.
HC JEUSSEN keeps taking these penalties. They'll be over at ST Hockey with a garbage can in the middle. As that one's D-to-D. Shot is blocked there by JEUSSEN, and they might get a chance here. Batty coming down. He's forced off of the puck, and it's going to be worked out here by Old Hogs. Puck brought in the right-hand side. Yuzo, he's tripped up, and HC JEUSSEN cannot stop the bleeding here, Brandon.
Yeah, this is becoming kind of rough for HC JEUSSEN. They have got to just take a deep breath, calm down, and stop getting themselves in so much trouble. I mean, a lot of these penalties have been just being a little bit over anxious on the stick or going in for a hit a little bit too early in terms of the charging. So it's been one of those games where HC JEUSSEN, they're getting themselves in trouble. They're in a good position, but they're going to let Old Hogs come back into this thing if they keep getting themselves in trouble. You can see they're 1 for 5 on the power play Old Hogs is, which is a great PK for JEUSSEN, but after a while, if you test them too much, they're going to capitalize at least once.
Look at the right-hand side. Budheiser. Sacco back to Budheiser. Down low to Misse. Misse fires. It's loose in front and cleared out there by HC JEUSSEN. And they're just looking to get out of this period and stop the train to the box here as Misse tries to move that one ahead. It's going to be intercepted there as Rambo stumps that one all the way down. Budheiser up the middle to Yuzo. Over to Misse. Misse brings that one in, looks to put it across, and Saku tried to keep that one onside there, Brandon, but it is going to be offside.
Yeah, and just 9 seconds left on this penalty kill for JEUSSEN. And as much as we've talked about the penalties they've taken, the PK has been absolutely spectacular. And Old Hogs, you know, if they do not come back and win this game, they're going to look back on some of these opportunities with a little bit of regret, not being able to capitalize on some of these power play opportunities. As now HC JEUSSEN, just 8 seconds, 9 seconds left to kill this thing off. If they can, they're going to hope to kind of stop the bleeding and stay out of the box from this point forward.
Puck brought into the left-hand side here by Nordi Bastardi. Back to the point. Shot is on by Budheiser. And a great save there by Ruxies. Misse, he's holding it, gets it back to the point. Shot is on. It goes off a body and over to the right-hand side. And that one's going to be cleared all the way down the ice. And that will be icing.
Yeah, and now HC JEUSSEN, they're going to try to get out of their own zone. This time, at least, though, it's 5-on-5. You have everyone on the ice to defend equally on Old Hogs. And if they play as well defensively on even strength as they have on the PK, they might be in a good position here up 3-2 with a minute left to go in the second period.
Here's Batty. Batty into the middle to Victor. Throws it up the right-hand side. Right back onto the stick of Victor. A little self-pass. He's bumped off of the puck. Budheiser left-hand side. And that one's going to be offside with 8 seconds to go.
Yeah, and things have kind of slowed down here for Old Hogs. It feels like they had some of those power plays and they didn't really get too many shots off. And ever since then, it feels like things have just kind of stagnated for them here in the second period. They're going to hope to kind of get things going and regroup here going into the third down by 1.
Big poke check there. Jars that one loose, but JEUSSEN, no opportunity to get that one, Brandon. And you know, they just got to kind of calm things down, get to the dressing room, and convince each other to stay out of the penalty box.
Yeah, and you know, I don't know anyone personally on HC JEUSSEN, never have talked to any of them, but I guarantee you that if you were to ask them right now, they would be very happy and feel pretty lucky to go out of that period unscathed with the amount of penalties that they saw themselves take. I mean, to be up in this game, do not pay attention to the 2-1 scoreline. HC JEUSSEN up 3-2. They're going to feel rather fortunate to be up here in this game, considering they've taken, I believe the count is 8 penalties now in this game alone, as well as about 6 here in the first 2 games. So considering that they're in the situation they're in with the penalties they have taken, they're thanking their lucky stars to still be up in this game. And now a fresh period, a chance to calm down, take a deep breath, and just regroup a little bit, play a little bit more discipline, keep playing the way they have defensively, and you might be able to find yourselves up 2-1 this series. But the key, just staying out of the box and not giving Old Hogs any more opportunities than what you've already given them.
Period number 3, game number 3, ECL Neo Finals Sports Gamer GG Old Hogs against HC JEUSSEN. Your respective lineups in the bottom left and right hand corner of your screen. This game is ahead by Old Hogs. Here's Yuzo. Back to the point. Shot is on, and a great save by Ruxies.
And JEUSSEN going to continue to lean on Ruxies to make big saves like that one. A great glove save there. There was a little bit of room there for the defenseman of Old Hogs in Saku to maybe squeeze that one through and beat Ruxies, but wasn't allowing that one to happen on that time.
Puck is going to be wrapped around Batty. Gets that one back to the point, and Maxims works that through Victor over on the left-hand side to Batty. Batty puts that one back to the point, and it goes too far, though, Brandon. It's going to end up all the way down, and Rambos goes over to his partner, and they work the puck up the right-hand side, does JEUSSEN. It's going to be picked off by Yuzo. And Victor now takes that puck right back, and it's going to be moved in here by JEUSSEN. Good interception. We got a breakaway the other way. It's going to be Misse. Comes in, and it's poke checked off his stick. And it's going to be worked back around by JEUSSEN. And a good opportunity there for the Old Hogs, Brandon.
Yeah, and I was just gonna say that was an amazing defensive play from HC JEUSSEN. If they come in and finish this game out and win, that's gonna be one that you remember right there. That was a clear-cut chance for Old Hogs, and they just weren't able to capitalize due to the defensive efforts getting back.
Up in the left-hand corner, huge hit there as bodies being laid out in the corner. Victor with a shot on. Budheiser takes that up to the right-hand side. Misse now over the line. Good pass into the middle. You have to use. Oh, he fires, and that's a great save, I believe, by Ruxies. Puck back at the point. Budheiser. Over to Yuzo. Yuzo tries to walk that puck in. I believe he's poke checked off. And the puck's going to be carried out here by JEUSSEN. Batty looks into the middle. There's Budheiser up the right-hand side. That one's going to be stripped and put all the way back down into Old Hog zone. 10 minutes left here in the third period, Brandon.
Yeah, and JEUSSEN gonna try to hold on. It's a chance for Old Hogs.
Here's Victor. Victor works the puck out for JEUSSEN. Scholand gets that one ahead finally, but it's going to be taken right back here, and Budheiser moves it ahead. Old Hogs get it into the zone. Pass across out front, Brandon. What a play as Nori Mastari couldn't get that in.
Have to give JEUSSEN some credit. They've stepped up a few times defensively, stopping some opportunities for Old Hogs.
Puck is going to be moved up the left-hand boards. It's kept in. Here comes Misse. Misse, good pass ahead to Yuzo. That puck gets put down low into the left-hand corner. Huge hit there. Not sure who's going to come up with that. It's going to be Misse. Misse in front. Backhand is out and goes wide. There's Budheiser. Gets it across and they score.
Old Hogs finally able to break through. It feels like they've been kind of trending upwards in terms of the chance that they've had. They just were not able to capitalize for the longest time. They finally get one in, and it's the one-timer right there from the left winger in Nori Mastari, and that was exactly what they needed. A tie game now, and Tegan, will we maybe see some extra hockey in the first time? We might just now.
We might just see some extra hockey here, Brandon, as that was a hat trick goal here in the third period. We have threes all around, all over the board. This puck at the point is going to be shot on by Budheiser, and that's going to be saved.
And you know, it's interesting, Tegan. You kind of feel Old Hogs, they needed that goal, and you kind of get the feeling that with that tying goal now, they have the momentum. They've been playing so well in this game. They've had so many opportunities. They've had some big saves on the other end from Ruxies, who's denied them of a few of those chances, but they're playing well. You kind of feel that now with this being a tie game and potentially seeing overtime, if they can keep JEUSSEN from getting anything in, I feel they have the advantage in this one, especially with how much zone time they've been able to have in this last 20 minutes.
As we'll get a face-off in the offensive zone for Old Hogs, and Brandon, we may just get our amazing extra hockey we love so much. Face-off play, and they score, but it's going to be called back here possibly.
Oh, Old Hog said, we don't want extra hockey. We want to close this thing out now, but unfortunately going to be goaltender interference on that one. A couple of players running into Ruxies on that one. It's not going to count, and we will remain at the 3-3 score, but encouraging for Old Hogs nevertheless. They saw the puck go in the net. They know they're able to get that opportunity. Hopefully next time for them, no goaltender interference to wipe it off.
Puck on the left-hand side. Nori Mastari brings that in. Under a minute to go. 3-3 hockey game. Here's Scholand. Trying to keep that puck in. It's fought for, but brought out here by Misse. Misse into the middle over to the left-hand side. That puck's going to be taken right back by Misse, but it gets poked off his stick, and here's Budheiser. Over to Yuzo. Tries to move that one forward. Saku. 38 seconds to go. We're going to get a power play here, Brandon, and that's not the time you want to take it. All right, so we'll get a look at the goal here from the left-hand side. That was a great one-timer there, is looking to even things up in this 3-3 hockey game, Brandon.
Yeah, and I'm happy that we got to see that play right there. It was a great play for Old Hogs, setting up that one-timer. And, you know, somebody that's been a really key contributor for them that we haven't talked about a lot, Nori Mastari, he has come up with a few big goals in these last couple of games that have gotten Old Hogs in this position to be in a 1-1 series, to be tied here in this Game 3. I would not be shocked at all if he is the one to bury this game winner, if Old Hogs are indeed the one to get that goal.
Face off here. 3-3 hockey game in the offensive zone. Face off is one back. Saku. Saku wraps that one around down low to Misse. Misse brings it out front, and that shot is off of, I believe it hit Yuzo in front there, Brandon. Blocked by his own team as Old Hogs had a great opportunity there in the power plays. They go back to work. Yuzo ahead to Misse. That one's going to be stripped off him, and it's dumped all the way down, Brandon. This is a great kill here for JEUSSEN.
And despite all of the penalties and all of the troubles they've had staying out of box, HC JEUSSEN has been phenomenal on the penalty kill all series long. It continues right here in a big point. As another penalty. Wow. It's going to be Batty
charging. His Batty's going to go sit there. So is that going to be a 5-on-3 there, Brandon? It is. Both players sitting in the penalty box here as we get an offensive zone face-off, and this would be a huge offensive zone win here. As that face-off is tied up, and it ends up on Ruxy's, as I have no idea how that happened, Brandon, but that'll take us to the end of the third period, and it's time for overtime.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind looking at that one again. That was pretty tricky there, as Ruxy's, he had to be on his toes to save that one, but nevertheless, HC JEUSSEN, they're going to see this thing go into an overtime, and I have to be quite honest, Tegan, at least in my opinion, I'd love to get your thoughts on this. I think HC JEUSSEN quite fortunate to see themselves in the overtime with the penalties that they have taken, the amount that they have taken, and the way that Old Hogs has played on the offensive end. Quite fortunate for JEUSSEN to see themselves go into an overtime period and have a chance to win this one.
They do have a chance, Brandon. And who do you think is going to be the winner here for Old Hogs or JEUSSEN?
Well, I kind of teased it earlier for Old Hogs, but I'm still going to stick with Nora Mastari. He has been amazing on the offensive end. He has come up with multiple big goals, had the hat trick in Game 2, has come up with 2 or 3 goals here in Game 3. He just seems to be the guy that has that scoring touch for this Old Hogs team, especially on the power play. And for HC JEUSSEN, I think I'm looking at none other than the other left winger. I guess we're choosing 2 left wingers here. Sholin for HC JEUSSEN. If they can get back on 5-on-5, they have that ability to step up offensively. Just have to kill this penalty off, get back to even strength, and show that offensive prowess that we know they have.
D here as Old Hogs go to work. Saku at the point over to the right-hand side to Budweiser, and that one-timer is stuffed.
Yeah, and Ruxy's going to have to be perfect here for his team and HC JEUSSEN, and he's been solid all season long. He's been solid all series long. This could be the biggest period of these 2 seasons, and boy, oh boy, is the goaltending going to be a big result in the way this thing goes.
Yeah, we said that at the beginning of this series here at the ECL Neo Finals. We're in game number 3 overtime, where this series is tied 1-1. Puck is going to be cleared all the way down the ice. Saku behind the net with it as he brings the puck through the middle to Yuzo. Over the right-hand side to Budweiser, and he wraps it all the way around. Good move there as Noni Mastari had an opportunity. They go D-to-D, and that one's fired wide, and Victor tries to clear that one, but he can't get it through the defensive wall there of Old Hogs, but they do get their gentleman back, and that is offside.
Yeah, and another big kill there from HC JEUSSEN. It's something we've talked about a lot. Despite the penalties they've taken, they have found a way to get out of trouble. Obviously, you never want to take too many times in the box, but when you're able to kill it off, it kind of takes that pain of it away just a little bit.
Puck in the left-hand corner is going to be fought for. Patty tries to fire that one on, and Sholand had a great opportunity. Puck is going to be put all the way down into JEUSSEN territory. Ruxy's coming out to help out there, Brandon. And here comes Sholin. Sholin to head to Victor. Victor across, they score! Batty with the overtime heroics, Brandon.
HC JEUSSEN, despite the penalties, despite the troubles, they find a way to win this game 3 and take a 2-1 series lead. It is on the stick of Batty. What a play there from HC JEUSSEN. A great little pivot move with the L2. Opened up that little space, got the pass open from one side to the other. The winger in none other than the left winger, as we mentioned earlier, being an impact in this game, is Sholin, getting it over to his fellow winger in Batty, and HC JEUSSEN finds a way and wins Game 3 4-3 and are 1 win away from being the ECL Neo champions.
What a game that was. Edge of your seat, Brandon. 4-3 overtime. We couldn't have asked for much better. JEUSSEN wins game 1 to take this 1-0. Great answer by Old Hogs in game 2 to come back. But a great job by JEUSSEN here in number 3. And it's 1 win for them to get themselves into a championship position, Brandon.
Yeah, Tegan, and I think that you have to point through 2 things to credit HC JEUSSEN's win. Firstly, the penalty kill, 8 for 9. They only allowed 1 power play after taking 9 penalties against Old Hogs in this game. That is absolutely wild to think about against an Old Hogs team that, as we mentioned, so good offensively throughout the season. 125 goals in the regular season, highest scoring by far in their group, and a team that scored a lot in the playoffs as well. To be able to hold them to 1 for 9 on the power play despite all the penalties, such a big story. And we've talked about the goaltending. We're going to talk about, again, a 21 save effort from Ruxies. Absolutely huge considering how lopsided the shots and time on attack were. Double for Old Hogs in both of those stats. And yet, HC JEUSSEN just finding a way to get the job done and winning this game. Absolutely amazing stuff from them. And man, that was amazing. A great game from both of these 2 teams that we saw in terms of the entertainment value. And now, as we mentioned, HC JEUSSEN just 1 win away from being champs.
The resilience from HC JEUSSEN, they spent a lot of time in the penalty box, kill after kill after kill, got them into a scenario where they were able to win a hockey game, and they're now 1 win away, like you said, Brandon, here in the ECL Neo Finals on Sports Gamer GG, and we will be right back for game number 4 after.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
Oispa nakki.
Kuoreton. Vai sellainen, että kuoret on?
Pääasia, että nakit on.
Wilhelm Werneri. Kuoreton tai kuoret on.
And here we are back in the ECL Neo Finals. Thank you to our amazing sponsors in Wilhelm, Kovalan Lakritsi, and ST Hockey. And well, the team that loses this is going to have to spend some time out there on ST Hockey, Brandon, and get back into Sports Gamer GG because there's 1 win away here for JEUSSEN to come out with a W.
Yeah, and it's interesting because you figured that with the way that game 3 went, that would be the game for Old Hogs to win. I think that if they're not able to come back and win the series, there's always that one game in the series you feel like that's where it changed. That game 3 might be it. 1 for 9 on the power play, 24 shots, over 7 minutes time on attack, doubling HC JEUSSEN in pretty much every offensive stat that you could have imagined. And it just wasn't enough for them, unfortunately. The goaltending from Ruxies, the penalty kill efforts from everyone on HC JEUSSEN to step up. And despite getting in that trouble, just every time it felt like they found a way to get themselves out of it and not let it overly impact the flow and the way that this game ended up. So now for Old Hogs, you just have to find a way to get past that, move on, and win this game 4 because now they're in a situation where their backs are against the wall and it's must win from this point forward.
Yeah, I'm curious what the conversation is in that dressing room, Brandon, when you come out and get, 2 to 3 5-on-3s in a hockey game and you don't come out with a W. There has to be some conversations had inside that dressing room.
Yeah, there's definitely a level of frustration, and I think even more so for the forwards because they're kind of the ones that you look at to be that goal-scoring punch. Obviously, you want your defense to come in and contribute, but a team like Old Hogs that have been so dominant all season, especially in being able to score and put the puck in the net, to have that kind of stall out, especially in a game like this in Game 3 against the HC JEUSSEN team that, quite frankly, gave them a lot of chances to take this game, and they just were not able to find the way to capitalize on those opportunities. So there definitely is that level of frustration that plays, but you're in too big of a situation to let that overflow. You have to kind of bottle that up, take it for what it is, move on, and focus on the task at hand. You have to win this game 4. Your season is on the line. Your championship hopes are on the line. So all you can really do is just take what you can from it, learn from it, adjust, and see how you can improve, and focus on doing just a little bit better here in this game for whatever they think those adjustments need to be.
As Brandon, a friend of mine, used to say, they're in too deep and they're trying to keep. HC JEUSSEN is going to look to take an ECL Neo Championship. And if you're looking to get yourself into an ECL Neo Championship, make sure you head over to SportsGamerGG and sign up for the ECL today. Right, Brandon?
Yeah, T, and obviously these two teams fighting for an ECL championship. We have plenty of teams signing up now to fight for one here in the springtime. It's always so fun to watch these ECL games, all the divisions, so much parity that we were seeing in the league. And we talked about all season in all of our divisions. Expect the unexpected. We saw Jyväskylä fight their way to get back into Elite, winning the Pro Series. We saw Atrets become the first back-to-back champions in the ECL Elite. And now we're seeing a great series between these two teams in the Neo division. So highly encourage, if you have a team, if you have a group that want to compete with the best in Europe, the best league that you can find in all of Europe, right here at the ECL, sign up, get ready, get to playing. I guarantee you it is so much fun, and the games are the highest of quality. So it's going to be fun to watch the spring season get underway as we wrap up the winter season and transition into that.
Lots of amazing commentary as well as we get started here in game number 4 in the ECL Neo Finals. Want to thank you, our amazing sponsors, and Wilhelm, Govalan, Lakretsi, and ST Hockey. You see your respective lineups in the bottom right and left hand corner of your screen as we have Old Hogs in white heading up the ice. JEUSSEN in the dark colored jersey coming down as they get an early slap shot blocked, and an interception here, and a breakaway for Miss A. Miss A tries to put that one on. It's going to be stuffed there by Iruxy. And he's probably happy about feeling that puck early there, Brandon, as you don't want to be sitting there cold for too long.
Yeah, you know, and it's interesting. That started off pretty similarly to game 3, a breakaway opportunity for Old Hogs, and Ruxy's making a big save. It was the exact same way just 2 minutes in, and another big save from Ruxy's to get that fuel early on the puck and make a big save going into this game 4 that they could go home with a championship win if they win.
Puck back to the point down the board. Shot is on, and that one goes all the way through the crease and down. There goes JEUSSEN as they move the puck up into the middle as that one curls around, poked off. And here goes Old Hogs up the ice, and here they break away. Missay into the middle, he scores! What a shot and what a goal!
A snipe and a half from Missay right there. Just walks in, puts it in the perfect place, and capitalizes to beat Ruxy's on that one. That was just a beautiful play there from Old Hogs, and it was exactly what they needed to start this game out. Backs against the wall, an elimination game, a must-win for this team, and Missay comes in and puts in a great goal to start this one out. Couldn't have asked for a better start if we're the Old Hogs here in this game 4.
Great start here for the Old Hogs as their backs are against the wall, like you said, Brandon, and that's the start they need. Is Budheiser works that up through the middle to Yuzo. Over to Missy. Puck is going to be intercepted and brought out here by Sholand. Sholand fires, and a big save by Karhubhere. Puck tried to be moved out there by Old Hogs, but the answer might be coming as there's a huge shot. It's behind the goaltender and moved out here by Old Hogs. And what a great job by the Old Hogs as they come down and get a shot on from Nori Mistari, and that one's robbed by Iruxys. Another big save by Iruxys, and he's going to swallow that one and hold on.
Yeah, and that's a big save there from Ruxy's. You can just kind of tell Old Hogs, they're playing not necessarily with desperation, but with a sense of urgency. They know what this game means. They know it's a must win. They know it's an elimination game. You can tell they are chomping at the bit to get this win.
Puck is going to be poked off over on the left-hand side. There's JEUSSEN looking to get an answer here. Victor trying to pass that one across. It's intercepted, and Saka rings it around the boards on the right-hand side. Here's Yuzo. Back over to Saku. Nori Mistari. That puck is going to be poked off. That's a great play by Victor. Victor across. What a goal by Batty. He was the overtime hero last game. And Brandon, that's a great play by him. Is not only did he come across with the one-timer on the opposite side, which caught Karu Pere sliding the other way. That's a great goal.
And that was beautiful passing as well there from that HC JEUSSEN trio. Couldn't tell who it was. I want to say it was all 3 forwards there for HC JEUSSEN, but nevertheless, that was just a great passing play. Everyone touching the puck, quick passes, no one keeping it too long, and it opened up Batty to capitalize on that goal. A great response there from HC JEUSSEN to get this back tied up.
Saku goes over to Budheiser. Budheiser tried to go back to Saku, but Batty, the goal scorer, steals that, and he comes out, and oh, that one goes right through. As what a diving poke check by Kadupere. Victor with the shot, Batty off the post, and look at HC JEUSSEN here, Brandon.
HC JEUSSEN attacking. We talked about how Old Hogs were playing with that sense of urgency. Well, HC JEUSSEN matching that aggressiveness now. They are really, really playing well. You can just tell both these teams absolutely high flying right now.
Rambo through the middle to Victor's. That puck's gonna be sent down. Sorry, it's been a little bit of a messy tongue on this one here, Brandon, as that puck's going to get moved ahead, and Old Hogs are going to carry it down. Good poke check as here comes Saku, activating from the point. Gets that one down, back to the point. Budheiser, shot on, is going to be steered away by Ruxies. Good job by Victor to take that puck away. And Victor comes in. Back to the point. Good puck movement as it's loose in front. And it's finally picked up by Batty in the right-hand corner. Big battle. He's going to be won by Sholin. Back to the point. Shot on. It's loose. Backdoor. What a save. Kadupere as he robs Sholin.
You know, we kind of got away from the goaltending battle we had talked about so much there in games 2 and 3, but Kadupere trying to bring it back, and Ruxies the same over on the other end for HC JEUSSEN. 2 or 3 big saves there from the Old Hogs goalie. Kadupere has a score for HC JEUSSEN, Tegan.
As HC JEUSSEN, it's going to be Sholin, Brandon. And it has been all HC JEUSSEN from that first goal, and they're doing a great job.
And you can tell they're just attack-minded. They saw the way that Old Hogs were playing, and they wanted to match that. A big goal the first time around, and this time, they put the shot on net off of the face-off play and get that rebound. A beautifully executed move there from HC JEUSSEN, and now they find themselves up 2-1. Not just in the series, but in this game 4 as well.
Face-off is won. And with 1:16 to go in this 2-1 hockey game, it is going to be HC JEUSSEN, and they have not taken their foot off the gas since that first goal. As we get a face-off here. Neutral zone tie-up. It's going to be won by Yuzo. Over to the left-hand side to Misse as he battles that one down, but Batty comes up with it. Good passing here in this 2-1 hockey game. It's intercepted by Budheiser, who clears that one out to the neutral zone. And that one gets clapped all the way down. Maybe enough time for an icing here, Brandon. A minute or a second and a half on the clock.
Yeah, you have to get a quick play off. More than likely going to be a win here to the right defenseman and a quick slap shot. But, I mean, we've seen wilder things happen here, Tegan. They could get a good chance here if they win this clean.
Face-off is one back in that one. No face-off opportunity there, but after giving up the early goal there, Brandon, JEUSSEN has done a fantastic job answering late in the first period.
And you know, Tegan, I think that the key word in this series for HC JEUSSEN has been resilience. It just feels like whenever they are a little bit down, whenever things aren't necessarily going their way, they just have that ability to find a way to respond and coordinate something to get themselves into the ideal situation. We saw it in game 1. Things were at a bit of a stall out. It was 0-0 for a long time, and HC JEUSSEN, they were able to find that opening goal, and the goaltending of Ruxies and the defensive efforts from the rest of them were able to carry that score through to win game 1. And then obviously in game 2, things not going well for them. Game 3, they took a lot of penalties, but they were able to find a way to come back from all of that. Despite losing the game 2 and having some troubles in the way they played in game 3, they found a way to win it in overtime and get themselves this 2-1 win. And now in game 4, nothing different. And they come in, lose the opening goal, and score 2 unanswered to follow. It just feels like HC JEUSSEN, no matter the situation, they always find that way to respond, and it's been so key for them here in the series.
Yeah, they've done an amazing job here as we're back with the ECL Neo Finals. You see your respective lineups in the bottom left and right-hand corner of your screen, and that puck was loose in the crease there for about 3 seconds, but a good job by HC JEUSSEN. As we have Old Hogs in white, Jessen here in the dark colored jerseys. There's a little bit of a wraparound intercepted by Yuzo, and he works the puck out here. Puck over to the left-hand side. Wrapped around behind the net is intercepted. Here's Misse. High slide over to Nori Mastadi, but what a save by Ruxies. Sholin carrying that puck down for Jessen. Good interception there by Budheiser. But Batty intercepts it from him. Here's Budheiser. He gives it away to Victor. Victor goes back to his D-man, back over to Victor, over to Sholin, left-hand side, and that puck's going to be taken away. Over on the left-hand side, Nodi Mastadi. Nodi Mastadi moves that one back to Yuzo. Over to Budheiser. Budheiser, D-to-D, and a great save by Ruxies, and the puck's moved ahead to Batty on the left-hand side. Batty's bumped off of the puck there, and that puck's in the left-hand corner. Here goes Nodi Mastadi.
Delayed penalty here for HC JEUSSEN.
And there it is, Brandon. Did you catch your eye on that? As I was calling, I didn't catch it.
I believe it was a charge there behind the net, as actually no, it'll be interference on Batty instead. And HC JEUSSEN, they actually did pretty well with staying out of the box in that first period. No penalties for them, but a little bit of a slip up there in the second period. So now Old Hogs a chance to get back in this game and capitalize on the power play. I know that's definitely something that they talked about here after that game 3.
As Rambos moves that puck out. Yuzo brings it right back in, but he can't find his defender on the power play, and he unfortunately sends that one all the way back down. Misse's going to bring it up for Old Hogs. Misse, left-hand side. Puck's going to be brought in as Nodi Mastadi. He gives that puck away, but it bounces loose, and got to be careful in the corner here as that shot goes off the back of the net. Puck is going to be wrapped around to the point. Can it be held in? And it is not, Brandon, with 12:10 to go here in the second period.
Yeah, and just 33 seconds to go on the Old Hogs power play. And yet again, Tegan, the PK of HC JEUSSEN looking spectacular once again. Just doing a good job of not allowing Old Hogs to get too many opportunities on their goalie and Ruxies. And any that do get there, he's made those big saves for them.
As that one pops through Ruxies, he's got to squeeze it tight as that one squeaked right through the pads, almost went in, Brandon.
Oh yeah, that was a close one. A little bit too close probably for Ruxie's liking, but nevertheless, he was able to find a way to get that one in and keep it at bay. Still a 2-1 game after that save from him there.
Puck back at the point. Big toe save there by Ruxies, and that puck's going to be cleared down, and that should do it for the power play as we reach the halfway mark of this game number 4 here in the ECL Neo Finals. Puck over on the left-hand side is poked off. And it's going to be carried out by Batty. Look at this. We have a breakaway for Sholin. Sholin is poked off his stick, but lose it. It's fought for. But it's going to be won, that battle, by Old Hogs. And a good job by Saku to try and clear that puck out. He gets it ahead to Misse. Misse over the line. Taken right back by Victor. Great 200-foot center in this game here, Brandon, for JEUSSEN.
Yeah, he's been amazing all series long in terms of really being solid. And it's interesting because really out of all of the players that have been able to stay out of the box, he's kind of been the main one to do so. Victor has. So it's been a big key for HC JEUSSEN's success, and we'll see if he can continue it here in this game 4.
Good strip of the puck there. Was JEUSSEN to get that right back. Sholin, he's fighting for it to try and bring it in. Too many bodies in the middle for Old Hogs, and they bring it out. It's Misse. Misse in the middle. What a goal! As Nori Mastadi walks that in backwards and shoves it in backhand.
Oh, that is a beautiful move there from Nadi Mastadi, and that is the play of the series so far. Just an amazing move. Use that L2, use it to his advantage to create that space, and put it in backhand to beat Ruxies. That was an amazing play. We've talked about Nadi Mastadi. He's been the scorer most of the time for Old Hogs throughout the series. He did it again, and this time, he did it in style.
Did he ever do it in style? As that's probably one of the nicest goals I've seen in esports competition there, Brandon. As it's now a 2-2 hockey game, and what do the Old Hogs have to do to keep this momentum up, Brandon?
Just have to keep attacking and not let HC JEUSSEN find that response as they do!
As JEUSSEN coming in with a gorgeous response there, and it's all about the answers, isn't it, Brandon?
Oh man, if HC Jessen was taking a test, they would have finished it in a matter of minutes with the amount that they have been able to find answers throughout this series. This has been amazing to watch, and it was just as I said it. It's one of those things that if you're Old Hogs, you get that tying goal, you just have to keep attacking and not give HC Jessen that chance to respond, and it only took them about 3 or 4 minutes, and they do so right there, and just like that, they're right back where they were to get with a 1-goal lead.
Well, if you closed your eyes for more than 2 seconds, it was a 2-1 game and now it's a 3-2 game. And oh boy, here comes Old Hogs on the answer. Misse, download to Nordy Mastari. Even Nordy Mastari tries to move that puck out. That one's going to be tipped on, and oh, Ruxies had to be good there as that was a sneaky little tip.
Oh, that was a little dicey there, Tegan, and Ruxy, he's had some of those close calls throughout the series. Luckily, he's been sharp on pretty much all of them throughout. Another one there, and he was able to get on it.
Face-off is one back. Face-off play is not going to fool Ruxies. He had his eye on that one.
Read it like an open book, and he had it ready. He was in perfect position to save that one, and a great glove save. As now it looks like Old Hogs are trying to attack a little bit to tie this game. You can tell they want this thing back where it was before.
Shot on is going to be poked away. Here's Messe in the corner, poked off again by Max Mias. And the puck's going to be dumped down, but from their own side of center, Brandon, as this will be offside.
And HC Jessen, they're going to look to try to get things back into their own zone here after what was yet another icing. Old Hogs, they've had a few opportunities. You saw that face-off play they had earlier. You saw a few shots on the possession before that. We'll see if they can maybe break through and get a goal here on this one.
Big hit there in the neutral zone is Yuzo. Trying to clear that puck out and does as Budheiser gets it down low. Bodies going off each other. Nordy Mastari puts that on, and Iruxes with another big save.
And how big has Ruxy's been these last few minutes? It feels like whenever he needs that big save, he's always in possession to get it there, Tegan. Another one for him there. He's been applying some pressure. Old Hogs have, as we mentioned, but it feels like Ruxy's just all over it, really keeping things the way they are.
Puck is going to be poked off. 10 seconds to go here. Who's going to be first on the puck? Is Jessen looking to get out of this period with a 3-2 lead, and they finally do. With, well, they will in a second, Brandon, as we have 2 seconds to go.
Yeah, they weren't ready to end things just yet. Just went and took that offsides there, but a little bit under 2 seconds left. You figure HC Jessen in a pretty good position to go up 2-1, as they will in this third period. And Tegan, just 20 minutes separate HC Jessen from the ECL Neo Championship. And, you know, we've talked about the way they've been able to respond as we get a look at that game-leading goal for HC Jessen from Max Mies. And like we've talked about, just their ability to respond, Tegan, it's been paramount for them in this series. Just every time they need a play, it just feels like they find a way to make it happen.
Yeah, great job, Brandon. 3-2 hockey game here, as this could be the last period of hockey, and this Old Hogs have anything to say about it. What are they going to have to do here, is they need to have a big third?
I think offensively, they can keep doing what they have been doing. They've played well. They've gotten some opportunities. And if not for Ruxy's playing the way he has been, I think that they could very well have had this game tied or maybe even in the lead. I think the big thing is just trying to stave off the response and stave off the run of HC. And the big thing is that Old Hogs, they just have not been able to get that same momentum the way they did in Game 2, where we saw them really take a grasp at the game. They went up 2-0, and HC Jessen were not able to find that response. They need to be able to do that here yet again in Game 4. Do not let HC Jessen get back into it and get that response when you were able to capitalize on your own opportunities. And it's even more important because the difference in this game, HC Jessen not giving Old Hogs those same opportunities on the power play. So have to find a way to do it on even strength and have to find a way to not let HC Jessen respond.
ECL Neo finals here. Old Hogs going against Jessen HC. We want to thank our amazing sponsors in Wilhelm, Kovalon, Lakritzi, and ST Hockey. I am It's King Lime. He is B Major. And we'll dive into this game number 4 here, where series could be won by Jessen. Puck picked up behind the net is going to be wrapped around, held in here by Old Hogs. Puck moved out front, stolen away by Budheiser, back to the point. Good puck movement here by Old Hawks. They wrap that one around the outside. Good penalty kill those. Yuzo picks that up. Yuzo picks that up for Old Hawks. Here's Budheiser. Budheiser fighting for it on the right-hand side. Stripped to the puck, but they give it right back to the Old Hawks. Nodi Mastari tries to fire that one on. It's intercepted here, and here goes JEUSSEN. Sholand into the right-hand corner. Victor looking backdoor, nobody home. Good kill there as Old Hogs get that puck down, but it will be icing.
And a big kill there from Old Hogs and HC JEUSSEN. They're going to get a chance down in the offensive zone. If they can get this next goal, that could be very, very big here for their championship chances. Whoever scores this next one could see this game swing in their momentum drastically here.
Puck brought over the line by Old Hogs. It's going to be dumped down by JEUSSEN. No icing on the play. 15 minutes to go, and Old Hogs need a goal. Saku over to Budheiser. Max Mias steals that one back. Budheiser trying to get it back for his team, but it's going to be Victor who gets it for JEUSSEN. Over to Rambo. Back to Victor. Victor trying to break it in through the middle, and Saku gets in the way of that one. Victor dumps that one in deep. Budheiser takes it back for Old Hogs, and they're trying to move that puck out with just under 11 minutes to go. Or 12 minutes, sorry. His body ahead to Victor. Victor trying to slow things down here, but it's going to be a breakaway. Yuzo, he scores!
Yuzo with a big goal for Old Hogs, and is that not exactly what they needed there to tie this game up? And you know, we've talked about the left winger for Old Hogs stepping up in Nodi Mastari. Well, Yuzo has come up with a few big goals of his own, and it's another one to add on right there to tie this up, middle of the third period. And now we have a fresh game at 11:39 to go, and this right here, Tegan, this is where we see what we talked about. Can they stave off the response from HC JEUSSEN? Let's find out.
This is what dreams are made of, is what a goal for Old Hogs as they tie this one up, and they're going to get a chance here on the power play as we are going to see a charging penalty, I believe, on that left-hand side, Brandon.
Yeah, and aside from the trips, that has really been the struggle for HC JEUSSEN in terms of the penalties they've taken. You like that they like to get aggressive and lay the body around, but you have to be disciplined and choose the way you do it. You have to do it with intent. If you take too many strides, you're going to get called for that every time. That's been something that HC JEUSSEN has struggled with so far in the series.
3-3, third period, 10 minutes remaining. Old Hogs backs against the walls. JEUSSEN trying to win the ECL Neo Finals. Puck brought in on that left-hand side. Good poke check, and here the puck's going to be taken out by JEUSSEN. Puck's going to be moved around behind the net by Old Hogs, and one of the defenders is going to send that up the left-hand side there to Masardi. Nodi Mastari's hit hard on that left-hand side. Yuzo down to Nodi Mastari. Out front, puck is loose, and a good job there by the defense to kind of clog up there for JEUSSEN. That shot is on backdoor. Two huge saves by Iruxes.
And surprise, surprise, another successful penalty kill for HC JEUSSEN. They get in some trouble. They find a way to get themselves out of it. And Ruxies with two big saves once again there, Tegan. And now 3-3, 8:13 to go. This is anyone's game for the taking.
Good battle there as that one's won by Old Hogs. They fire it. It goes wide. Here's Misse. Poked off his stick. And another good poke check. Jars that one loose. Here's JEUSSEN behind their own net. I believe that's Rambo's working the puck out. He sends that ahead there to Sholand. Sholand, nice pass into the middle as that one goes off a body. There's a good shorthanded opportunity there, and now a power play for JEUSSEN for a chance with the charge.
And it's going to be a charging this time for Old Hogs. That was a big hit, but unfortunately the Stripe's not going to allow that one to go cleanly. And HC JEUSSEN, a chance for them to take the lead back here. They haven't been spectacular on the power play in the series, but what better time would there to be to get one than with 6 minutes left, a chance to win the series and to win the championship with 6 minutes to go and it being a tie game.
Puck is going to be brought out here by JEUSSEN, looking to get aggressive here and possibly end this series. Here's Sholand in the corner. Slips one check, goes behind the net, finally finds its way to Batty. Batty looks up front, Sholin pokes for it. A battle ensues, and it's going to be won by Old Hogs, but they can't get it out of the zone. Puck's going to be kept in, shot is on, it's blocked, loose in the middle. I believe that's Victor, back to the point, Max Mias. Let's go back over to Victor, but that puck is going to be dumped all the way down. It's going to be right on Rux, and Rux sends that up the boards. Puck is going to be brought in here by JEUSSEN. JEUSSEN looks to put that puck in front, finding one of the players, but the puck is going to be taken away by Old Hogs, and they go up the right-hand board. Misse battling Max Mias, and the puck's going to be brought up here by JEUSSEN. Sholin back to Rambo, and that one goes all the way through, and a penalty here by JEUSSEN, a 200-footer. There's Nori Mastardi with a shot on, and we'll get a power play for the rest of the game here for Old Hogs.
And we're starting to see the penalties start to creep in for both of these two teams now. Lane, we had HC JEUSSEN take a charging earlier. They were not able to, they were able to kill it off. And last time it was Old Hogs that took advantage of their penalty kill after taking a charging of their own. So this time, another penalty. We'll see if the penalty kill trait can continue for these two teams.
Up in the left-hand corner is going to be fought up and given away to Misse. Good poke check there by JEUSSEN, and they get it out, and it could have a chance here. Sholin, good play by him as he just clears that one down, and there will be a slow minute as that one's chopped off, and here goes Old Hogs out of the zone. Yuzo. Nordi Mastardi on the left-hand side. He can't control it, and that one's going to be dumped all the way down. Good kill by JEUSSEN here, Brendan.
Yeah, that's exactly what we talked about. HC JEUSSEN spectacular on the penalty kill all series long. It's continuing here at a big point.
Nordi Mastardi on the left-hand side. Max Mias clears that one out to the neutral zone, and Saku brings it in. Those balances need help. It's Rambos. Rambo, he sends that one down. And Saku picks that up for Old Hogs. As Brandon, what is that? The 7th time we've seen that in 2 days as that puck gets wrapped around. Yuzo looking backdoor. Batty picks it up. Good kill here by JEUSSEN. Max Mias puts one off his own player's face, and they take it out to the neutral zone, and looking like a very good kill as Batty brings it over the line. Poke checked off his stick. And Saku brings it up, and we possibly may see, but not here, if Misse comes in, and what a save by Ruxies. I thought that was going to end the game, but a great save by Ruxies to keep his team in it and extend this to overtime.
Ruxies saving the game. Ruxies saving their championship hopes potentially here in game 4. What a beautiful breakaway stop there from him. And Tegan, I'm with you. It just felt like with the way that play happened, he was able to split through, and you just kind of have the feeling like, wow, this is going to be the one to win the game here for Old Hogs, but Ruxies standing tall, not allowing it to happen. A great play there from the HC JEUSSEN goaltender, who has made so many saves here in these series.
As we see the play at the end there, that was a great goal. Ruxies got caught sliding completely out of the net, and that was a great backhander, Brandon.
Yeah, you can't ask for much more than that. And like you said, he just kind of got caught sliding there a little bit, left nothing but open room there for Yuzo to put that one in. And now it comes down to overtime. Who do we think is going to win it? Is HC JEUSSEN going to go home with a championship here in the Neo Division? Or will their opposition in Old Hogs extend this to a do or die, a winner go home, game 5? Let's see here, Tegan.
And Sholin trying to end things. You see the respective lineups in the bottom left-hand right corners of your screen. Sholin fires, and a big save there by Karu Pedhe as we're here in the ECL Neo Finals by Sports Gamer GG. Old Hogs against JEUSSEN, and Old Hogs in white, JEUSSEN in black. Face-off is going to be won back to the point. Max Mias drops that one down low. Sholin trying to move that one around. It's D to D here for Old Hogs. Batty comes over the line. Shot is on. They score! Your ECL Neo Finals champion is the HC JEUSSEN.
And the game winner on the stick of Sholin HC JEUSSEN, no matter what the opposition, no matter what the situation, always found a way, and they do it at the biggest moment of their season in overtime in Game 4, and Sholen gets the game winner, and HC JEUSSEN are the ECL Neo champions.
What a championship game, Brandon, as we got overtime hockey almost every time. Both teams did a very good job here, but it was going to be HC JEUSSEN that comes in with the W to take it all away. The bragging rights are here, and they better get used to it. And what a great series by both of these teams, Brandon.
Yeah, and you know, it's so interesting because you look throughout the series, and Old Hogs, they were a team that had played well all season. They go into the series, it was a little bit rough for them in Game 1, but they responded so well in Game 2, and after that, it just kind of felt like it was one of those series in Games 3 and 4 to where anyone could take it. It was up in the air for anyone. In both Games 3 and 4 go into overtime, and both times HC JEUSSEN find a way to get the winner. The first time it was a goal from, I believe it was JEUSSEN that scored the game, or not JEUSSEN, my apologies, it was Batty that scored the game winner in Game 3, and this time in Game 4, it's Sholen, and this game winner was the game that won them the ECL Neo Championship. Well deserved from HC JEUSSEN. Congratulations to them.
Good eye there, Brandon. What a gorgeous goal by Sholen. And that's a 200 IQ play by that shooter that notices that pass might not get through there, Brandon, but the shot will, as that rebound comes off the pad and they make absolutely no mistake, does HC JEUSSEN.
And to me, I think that the underrated part of that play was the cut there from Sholen. He made a beautiful read, and you can kind of see it there on the replay. He made that cut between the defender, and it opened up that lane for him to get that look, to get that shot off right as it was put on for the rebound. Without that cut, without that recognition to take that space, that play does not happen. So a great job there from Sholen, using the IQ at the right place at the right time, capitalized at the big moment, at the big stage, and it gave his team in HC JEUSSEN a championship here in the ECL Neo division.
And you know, I'm very impressed with the Old Hogs, Brandon, as they gave HC JEUSSEN a run for their money. Very good goaltending by Karahu Perhe, and Nori Mastari trying to give his team a chance. He definitely did that, tying the game up, didn't he? But it was going to be HC JEUSSEN. They came out, and Ruxies and his team was just very, very good here in this series.
Yeah, it's so interesting because for Old Hogs, you kind of had the feeling with the way they started out this Game 1, they had the big breakaway chance that was saved by Ruxies. They got the scoring started early in this Game 4, and like we mentioned, can they stave off the comeback run? Can they stave off the response from HC JEUSSEN? It just felt like every time Old Hogs had a chance and they had something going for themselves, HC JEUSSEN just wouldn't let them run away with it. They would stop them right there, take it right back, and it would either be an equal kind of game to where either one could take it, or HC JEUSSEN would take that momentum and use it for themselves. And speaking of which, somebody we haven't talked about much for HC JEUSSEN, how about Victor the Man? 4 assists on each of those goals in that game. He was a very underrated player in the series for them. You kind of mentioned his two-way play being a big part of the series for them. Just a great series and a great game for HC JEUSSEN, especially considering some of the penalties that they took and the way that Game 2 went. For them to come back and win the series in the next two, absolutely amazing to watch.
Well, let's make it official and check out our updated bracket here, Brandon, in the ECL Neo Division Finals. And there it is. Our championship is going to go to HC JEUSSEN, and they definitely deserve it with a 3-1 victory here in the finals.
And they only lost one game throughout the entirety of these playoffs. Remember, they had to play it in that first round. They did not get the automatic bye in that first round like some of our other top 4 teams did. But HC JEUSSEN, as you can see on your screen, it is official. They are the ECL Neo champions, and a great playoff run for them. Well-deserved. Like we said, Tegan, they fought through everything, and they found a way to get this done.
You know what, Brandon? I'm a pretty good fan of that color there. It's looking pretty good in the ECL and Neo as those championships for AC JEUSSEN. It's a nice lime green, I think. And if you guys want to be a part of this amazing league and everything that goes on here, you can now sign up. As signups are now open, aren't they, Brandon, for the ECL on Sports Gamer? GG.
That is right. We have crowned 3 champions. We crowned HRES the champions of the Elite Division just a few days ago. Around this time last week, Yavaskala were crowned the ECL Pro champions, and today, the ECL Neo champions in HC JEUSSEN. And you and your team might get a chance to be champions next season if you sign up for the ECL Spring 22 season. I kid you not. I say no lies when I say this is the best league and the best website in virtual hockey that Europe has to offer. If you have a team and you want to compete with the best, if you want a great website with great coverage, great media, great people behind the scenes that make this thing operate and make this thing tick, make sure you sign up for the ECL spring season. Just amazing what everyone here at Sports Gamer GG and at this ECL do to run these tournaments and to run these seasons year after year after year. This is the best league, the best tournaments that Europe has to offer. So if you want to be a part of it, make sure you go to sportsgamer.gg and sign your team up. It is so much fun to call these. I'm sure it is just as fun, if not more fun, to be out there and playing and competing. And for HC JEUSSEN, they play and compete their way to a championship here tonight.
As we're not done. That's right, as we have more coming to you, as tomorrow we are going to be back at 1945 Central European time, as we are going to be casting as well, Brandon.
Yeah, we will. Morta IK versus Philadelphia Academy. Maybe not the same Fila we're used to seeing in the past, but Philadelphia Academy, they're a team that's really risen over the last couple of seasons, looking to win that big ECL Light Championship and move on to the next division. Would be fun for them, and I'm sure that some of our guys over at Frelunda will be watching and cheering that series on, so it's going to be a lot of fun to watch and call with you here over the next few days.
Yes, Tuesday we will have it at 1945 Central European time, and then Wednesday, Brandon, an hour earlier, as we'll do games 1 to 3 on Tuesday, and the remainder of what's needed on Wednesday at 1845 Central European time. So, Brandon, you know, this has been absolutely amazing here at the ECL Neo Finals. I want to give a big thank you, obviously, to Sports Gamer GG, everybody behind the scenes, Guido running an amazing production as he always does behind the scenes. A big thank you to Wilhelm, Kovan Lakrati, and ST Hockey. And of course, thank you, Brandon, for joining me here. And a huge thank you to both of the teams playing, and a congratulations to HC JEUSSEN.
Yeah, I have to make sure to congratulate HC JEUSSEN, and we have to congratulate Old Hogs as well. A great season that they had, dominant in the regular season, the number 4 seed, didn't lose a single game coming into tonight's series, and they're a team that really, really had a great run. So obviously tonight, HC JEUSSEN tonight, they are the champions, but Old Hogs have to give them their props on what was overall a great series and a great playoff run. But once again, a big congratulations to HC JEUSSEN, a well-deserved championship. Hopefully those guys enjoy it.
We'll be back to crown another champion in the light finals tomorrow and the following day. So make sure you catch up with us there. And don't forget that the signups for ECL are now open. From myself, from Sports Gamer, from Brandon B. Major Bigsby, we will see you guys tomorrow, and have a great evening.